this. It is caught for the win.
Once and for all for Sergio.
Justin Thomas, PGA champion.
Touchdown, Alabama. North Carolina. They're not going to be denied this time.
What's at stake here? A chance to go to Atlanta. The possibility of a third consecutive BCS appearance.
They're going to try a field goal.
57 yards for the win. On the way. No, returned by Chris Davis. Davis goes left. Davis gets a block. Chris Davis. Touchdown. An answered prayer.
Jalen Hurts, he'll keep it.
Kerryon Johnson with a convoy in front.
Harris up the middle. He's going to go.
Slate. Yes! Scarborough is going to walk in.
Touchdown, Auburn.
There's no words to really describe the hate that there is between Auburn and Alabama.
There's a tremendous bragging right, pride that is really beyond description.
It's electric. Hairs on the back of your neck are standing up.
It's something that you'll remember for the rest of your life.
You have to experience it to truly understand it. It's the best rivalry in college football.
And for the 82nd time, it is the Iron Bowl from Auburn, Alabama. The Home Depot SEC on CBS brings us to Jordan-Hare Stadium. And the 6th-ranked Auburn Tigers on their home field against the top team in the land, the Crimson Tide of Alabama. You take a look at the West standings in the SEC, it says it all. Alabama on top, perfect at 7-0. Auburn right there at 6-1. Can they pull a surprise like they did 4 years ago? The college football playoff picture looks like this. Miami has lost now. You take a look at the rest for Auburn and Alabama. A trip to Mercedes-Benz Stadium and a matchup where Georgia is in store for the winner today. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the Plains. I'm Brad Nussler. When you say Iron Bowl, it should be enough. When you think about two teams that are both ranked in the top 10 for only the 8th time in this storied history, and then it's for a play-in to play the Georgia Bulldogs next Saturday in Atlanta. That says it all. There's some eerie similarities to 4 years ago. A quarterback that had a #1 ranked team. A quarterback on the other side that led a comeback after a loss to LSU. Two running backs with the same numbers and the same impact, and then the unthinkable, unbelievable that Vern called so beautifully on the 109-yard run back for a miracle victory for Auburn. My partner Gary Danielson 4 weeks ago said on the air that Auburn, a 2-loss team, had a chance to get in the college football playoff. I thought you had lost your mind.
Yeah.
You were right.
Well, you know, there wasn't a lot of believers, you know, after that LSU game. And until that Georgia game, were you believing after the Georgia game?
Yes, I did.
And I think all of the Auburn fans were believing after the Georgia game. They played almost a perfect football game. And I think to beat Alabama, they're going to have to do it the same way. And to do that, they got to ride their star. Kerryon Johnson is one of the outstanding football players in this league. He really has it all. He anticipates the play as good as any running back in college football. When there's an opening, he attacks it. He's got acceleration when he needs it. And sometimes, Brad, he runs with that arrogance that just a few people have. And I think that his teammates have taken that scouting report and the way he plays and taken a page out of it.
Here comes the top-ranked team in the country to the booze at Jordan-Hare. Top-ranked Alabama. Well, they're in a familiar spot, Gare. They've been #1 for all but 2 weeks this year. They've been #1 so many times, and here they are again.
And they're used to it. They're used to big games. They enjoy big games, but they remember what it was like in this stadium when Auburn was real and they had a quarterback. But you know what? Auburn fans, Alabama fans, they got a quarterback that kind of reminds you of a quarterback that played for Auburn, Cam Newton. Jalen Hurts has the whole package. He can beat you in a lot of different ways. He has the guts to finish games, and he has the skill to provide it at any time.
So that's the setting. You can't ask for more than the 82nd Iron Bowl. And here come the hometown Tigers. More memories will be made here today. We can only hope that it's going to be like it always has been on the Plains.
The ball up and over and in. Van Tippett has won the ball game.
Auburn going after it. Here's a good snap. It is blocked.
Touchdown, Alabama. Returned by Chris Davis.
Chris Davis, an answered prayer.
Like a beast in the jungle.
From Al Dean to All In, Alley's with Nick Saban moments ago.
Coach, linebackers Christian Miller, Terrell Lewis, Mac Wilson, they're available but not 100%. How does that affect your ability to stop this fast Auburn offense?
Look, we're going to have everybody to stop Auburn's offense. It ain't going to be about those three guys. It's going to be about everybody on our team being all in, ready to play. I'm proud of this team for what they've given themselves an opportunity, but we got to be able to finish.
It's the Iron Bowl. Everything can and has happened in this game. What makes this rivalry so unpredictable every year?
I don't know. I guess it's the emotion of the game. That's why you got to channel your emotions in the right direction.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
I think everybody in this whole stadium feels the exact same way. Alabama leads the series, 45 wins, 35 losses, and a tie. Allie made her way across the field to Gus Malzahn of the Auburn Tigers.
Coach, this is only the second time in history that this game has decided who goes to Atlanta next week. Why will it be Auburn?
It's good as it gets right now. We played our best game against the #1 team in the country 2 weeks ago. We need to do the same thing tonight.
Your quarterback, Jarrett Stidham, has never experienced this unique environment. What have you told him about the Iron Bowl and this Alabama defense?
Yeah, I told him just to do his thing. Play his game. He's played very well. He's gotten better each week, and I expect him to play well today.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck.
Thank you.
A little bit different, though. Gus Malzahn wants to write it wide open, and he's looking for big plays. When you talk to Nick Saban, he says it's fundamentals, do your job. Just a little different take.
First meeting was in 1893 at Birmingham's Lakeview Park. This venue's a little bit bigger. Bama won the toss, deferred. J.K. Scott will tee it up. Martin and Igbenagi back deep for the Tigers. Iron Bowl number 82 is underway. Igbenagi is going to take a knee, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Let's check our Chick-fil-A starting lineups. Allie just talked about Jarrett Stidham with head coach Gus Malzahn, and since the second half of that LSU game that we saw, Gary, he's been pretty darn good. Here's the rest of his offensive cohorts up front right now. Ryan Davis closing in on the all-time reception mark, single season, I should say, reception mark for Auburn. Kerryon Johnson flanks Stidham in the shotgun.
Alabama showing blitz in the very first play. They're going to check out of it.
And a quick throw out on the flat. And that's going nowhere. Minka Fitzpatrick has got Darius Slayton all wrapped up. And let's check the defense of Alabama. That guy's the leader, number 29, without a doubt. A guy that's really coming on the last couple of weeks. They needed help at the linebacker position, and a freshman's been giving it to him. Second down and 9. Play fake. Stidham double clutches, throws it out to Davis. Davis broke a tackle, and he got a first down.
Well, Stidham had to double clutch. The blitz was coming off the edge from Hootie Jones, number 6. If he'd have thrown it on his first try, it would have been knocked down. Watch, he sees Hootie Jones coming. He delays, lets Hootie come down like basketball, right?
Yep. So first down out at the 36-yard line. They're going to go that way again to Slayton with a blocker in front, and he picked up 4 before he's run out of bounds by Minka Fitzpatrick again. So again, Auburn's not going to slow down much. Keeping the pedal to the metal, as Gary talked about, at the 40.
They did substitute, though, which allows Alabama to calmly substitute as well.
Eli Stove is the motion man. Kerryon Johnson can't get away from the Alabama defense. First guy was Fitzpatrick, and then Rashaan Evans cleaned up.
Well, there's no mystery. I've listened to everybody break this game down. It's hard to imagine that the Auburn offense will work unless they can spring the tailback. And we talked about it in the open. I mean, you don't have to be a 10-year vet of watching any type of football. This Auburn offense starts with the tailback and then the quarterback, not the other way around.
Allie asked Coach Saban about those linebackers that were injured early in the season. Terrell Lewis is in there right now for the first time since Florida State. 3rd and 11 for Stidham. Pocket starting to collapse. Jarrett's going to take off on his own and try to get to the sticks. Didn't get there. Tough run, though. He got about 9 or 10.
You know who else was in there in the dime package? Mac Wilson, their preferred #1 dime middle linebacker. So 2 injured linebackers. There's Wilson right there, number 30. He didn't quite make the tackle, but he finished up, and, well, he fell on the pile, to be honest.
Aiden Marshall will come in to punt. Trayvon Diggs is back deep for Alabama.
Deep for Alabama, number 7, Trayvon Diggs.
High kick. He's going to have to call fair catch and takes it around the 14-yard line. So Alabama's defense gave up 1 first down, and then they put the hit on the Auburn quarterback to force the punt. And we'll see the Tide's offense when we come back. No score here early at Jordan-Hare as we take a look at the Chick-fil-A starting lineups for the Crimson Tide of Alabama. It all starts with the guy that Gary talked about, Jalen Hurts. Only lost 1 game in his 2 years at Alabama. There's his numbers coming in. And the rest of the offense that'll trot out there with him, including his big play wide receiver, Calvin Ridley. Hassenauer in there for Pierce Baker at the guard spot. And the Auburn crowd is going to give Alabama the business back there at the 14-yard line already. Three wideouts right in front of you there. To the left of Jalen Hurts. The run is going to the right with Damian Harris. And Harris, tough run. Didn't look like he was going to get that much. Trey Williams had to run him down, but he picked up about 6 as we look at the Tigers defensively. Trey Matthews, the leader back there in their secondary. Leader of the entire team, his teammates say.
And look at Alabama going fast.
Giving Auburn a little taste of their own medicine. And the flip out to Damian Harris. He's got a first down. He's across the 30 to the 31.
You know, a year ago, I went back and watched last year's game. Alabama ran 44 first-half plays. 26 of them were passes. But if you break them down, 8 of them were flare passes just like that. And 7 of them were the jet sweeps where they basically just threw the ball. So it was kind of a mirage. They weren't throwing as much as it looked like in the Lane Kiffin offense.
Yeah, Auburn only had 20 first-half plays a year ago. Here's Hurts in trouble. He's just going to throw this one away. Jeff Holland was putting the pressure on Hurts.
It's really hard to fool the the Auburn defensive backs when they're playing man-to-man. I mean, they're looking at their guy. They don't even know what the play is. On 9 out of 10 plays, the 2 corners are playing man-to-man coverage. Now, Trey Matthews, the safety, has to be aware, but the corners have no idea.
2nd down and 10. 4 wideouts for Hurts. Foster, the motion man. He's going to flip it over to him. And Foster trying to get to the edge. Does. First down, Alabama.
Is Lane Kiffin calling this game for Alabama? I mean, it looks almost the same way that Alabama started the game a year ago. Short passes, wide passes, trying to soften up this Auburn front 4. They saw the Georgia tape. They know how tough those front 4 guys are to block.
So pick up a 12. Back-to-back first downs. As you look into the eyes of the Alabama quarterback. Hurts, straight drop this time. Throws across the middle. Got it complete. And it's Calvin Ridley. for Calvin. That's his 53rd catch of the year.
Well, the offensive line here does a nice job. Remember how strong of pressure they put on Jake Fromm, but most of those were on 3rd down. Alabama throwing the ball from the pocket on 1st down. A wide open offense so far for Bama.
2nd down and 5. Straight up the middle is Harris. Almost lost the ball. Got to midfield. Trey Matthews made the hit. Well, here's a 3rd down and 3. All 3 wideouts trot out to the top of your screen. Here comes a blitz. Hurts is just going to take off on his own. I don't know. Close, but I don't think he got it.
I don't think he did. But it's in that in-between part of the field. Obviously no field goal. Do you punt it early in the game? I'd be punting it, I know that.
And here comes the punting unit.
Less than a yard.
They got one of the best punters in the country, and that guy right there. He's only had 3 punts returned this year for a total of 2 yards.
Yeah, remember though, Damian Harris is in the game, a running back.
4th down and short. Scott's kicked a mile high. They let it go. I don't know if that was a good choice.
It worked out well. I think if he'd had to fair caught it, it would have been inside the 5 anyway. So
might have gained a couple yards.
Yeah, about the best he could have done. Stephen Roberts, whose first punt a year ago was over 50 yards, I think is smart to let this go. It might have bounced into the end zone. It took an Alabama bounce and inside the 10-yard line.
9:32 remaining 1st quarter, no score here at Auburn. Tomorrow, doubleheader, NFL on CBS. Dolphins get together with the Patriots. 2nd game. New Orleans coming off an overtime win. Take on the Rams. Division leaders clashing in that one. Kick off the day with JB, Phil, Coach, Nate, and Boomer on the NFL Today, presented by Southwest Airlines. 12 Eastern on CBS.
Now this will test Gus Malzahn. Does he keep it wide open on the 6-yard line? Does he really believe he can run it out from inside his own 10?
Kerryon Johnson shifts from the left to the right.
Wide open.
Play action slant. And nice footing by Davis. Got to the 10. So that's Ryan Davis' 2nd catch. There's some of the missing linebackers we've been talking about, but some of those guys are out there now. Yeah. Lewis and Miller have been.
And I think Miller was on this series. He was in there with the first group on the first play.
So a little more room to breathe for the Tigers. 2nd down and 5. Straight up the middle, and Kerryon Johnson's into the secondary. 1st down out at the 26.
Well, you'll see Auburn go fast now with that 1st down. They will go as fast as they can. You get a big run like that from Kerryon Johnson, you're coming back with the same play. Look at this.
And now Stidham's going to keep this one. He got buried by Deshaun Hand.
Yes, and that's the 2nd time he's gotten hit hard in this game. The scramble on 3rd down, and now on this keeper, the zone read. It was the same play they ran for the 1st down, but Jarrett Stidham keeps it. Remember in the championship game when Deshaun Watson took those hits early in the game and he seemed dazed? Listen, Auburn's played the last 2 years barely without a quarterback. They cannot lose Stidham in this game.
Play action. Stidham has time. Fires in and out of the hands.
What a play by Levi Wallace.
Craig Myers, the intended receiver.
Levi Wallace is chasing Craig Myers across the whole field. The throw is slightly behind, but usually this is a completion. Watch Wallace make up ground, stick his paw in there, and knock it out. What a play. There it is. Throw it up. He might have double caught it. He might have caught it again, but Levi Wallace on that play.
Wallace, a great story, a former walk-on, and now a great corner. 3rd and 9 for Stidham. Down the middle, and this one's a strike, and this time he hangs on. Nate Craig Myers might have dropped the last one, but not this one.
Oh, man. Great middle throw of the field this time, going right down the middle of the field on this play. Tough to show replays in this Auburn offense, I'll tell you that. If you like replays, you're just going to have to be patient.
First down at the Alabama 48. Quick throw out to Slayton. And Slayton kept his footing somehow. Wow!
We all thought he was out of bounds. I thought his left foot was out of bounds when he got thrown out. His toe was in. I don't think his heel ever came down.
Unbelievable.
Yes, great balance.
Now they go the other way out to Stove. And Stidham throwing it all over the field right now.
Listen, Gus Malzahn promised that against Georgia he was going to go wide open. One more look. His no play, great job of keeping your wits about you and finishing the play when everybody else, at least on Alabama's side, thought he went out of bounds.
So second and 10 at the Alabama 25.
As I was going to say, Gus promised he was going to be wide open against Georgia, and he promised he'd do the same against Alabama, keeping his promise.
Play fake. It's a throwback screen. We've seen this before. And the tight end Harris with the catch.
That's the third different version of that throwback screen we've seen. Kerryon Johnson scored on it last week, 2 weeks ago against Georgia in that big play. But coming up and making that tackle, Jennings does it and stops it to a minimum. Third and what, medium, 5 or 6?
Yep, 6 to go. They need to get to the 15-yard line.
Isaiah Buggs splits 2 receivers to get out of bounds on that one, to get to the sideline on the substitution.
Craig Myers in motion toward the ball. Stidham comes back this way to Kerryon Johnson. He's got the first down inside the 15.
Well, I'll tell you, Chip Lindsey, the offensive coordinator for Auburn, has the whole playbook opened up. Everything they got, they're throwing right here. Easy pitch and catch with a little window dressing of a spin by Stidham and keeping Alabama off balance.
Now he gives it inside the 10, down around the 8. The Verizon Red Zone offense, 31 scores in 32 trips, and 23 of those have been touchdowns.
Chandler Cox comes into the game. They're great blocking H-back. Following him usually leads you to the play.
And whistle stops play.
And it looks like Auburn took a timeout.
First charge timeout, Auburn.
I think Coach Malzahn just said, that's our fault, guys. Just get over here. Let's talk about it. Auburn driving when we come back. Looking for gifts for the sports fan on your list. To skip the lines and save on team gear from the CBS Sports Shop. Go to cbssports.com/gift to see today's special offers. Earlier today, if you missed it, Charles Barkley statue unveiled outside the Auburn Arena. And it was a pretty good likeness of Chuck, the thin version. And here he was unveiling that. Great honor for Charles. And then moments ago introduced out here on the field.
Second down. It is a play action down. They've been aggressive this whole drive. What will they be thinking? If you're Alabama, you have to prepare for a play action pass here.
They started at their own 6-yard line. It's the 11th play of the drive. They can actually get a first down at about the 1-foot line. That's Davis in motion. The gives to Kerryon Johnson. And he's going to get down inside the 3. Raekwon Davis, who's been a terror lately from his defensive line position, came in the last 3 games with 23 tackles. He made that stop. Here you go, 3rd down and 2. Alabama changing up personnel.
Brad, I was here 3 weeks ago, and I saw Kerryon Johnson do the Tim Tebow jump pass from the Wildcat in this position.
That's the spot he's in right now. 3rd down and 2. Kerryon, there's the jump pass. Gary called. touchdown. A 94-yard drive capped off with a touchdown pass from Kerryon Johnson to Nate Craigmires.
Well, they don't practice those things for nothing, right?
And you don't go to practice for nothing. Low snap. They got the hold down, and the extra point was up and good.
I think what I take from this drive, remember, it started from the 6-yard line. They started out the drive aggressively, and they ended up the drive aggressively on the jump pass.
Beautifully designed and executed. And the guy that got a big completion, a 30-yarder, Nate Craigmires, is a guy that caps off the 94-yard drive with a touchdown. Tigers 7-0 at home. Monday on CBS, see what everybody's laughing about. New episode of Kevin Can Wait. Kevin James, Lee Remini star. Monday, 8/7 Central, only CBS. So a 94-yard drive, and Chip Lindsey pulled everything out of the bag on a 12-play march.
It started with a pass, but I thought the key play was Kerryon Johnson's run to get the first down and break it open, and that's when Auburn, Chip, and Gus really tuned up their tempo in that drive.
He had that 15-yard run, then they had a 30-yard pass.
Right.
And then they were moving.
The big play by Slayton down the sideline.
Right.
I mean, they had a little bit of everything. We talked about that in the open. It had to be everything for Auburn to stay in this game against Alabama.
Carlson's kickoff. And that's going to go way back to the back line. Josh Jacobs will take a knee. We'll take you back to that last drive and what Kerryon Johnson can do.
Well, we talked about that he's got the whole package. We used the A for Auburn. He's aggressive. He attacks the hole. He's got an arrogance about him that I think the whole team follows. And you know what? I apologize to everybody. I think I had room for one more A. I think I should have put an arm down here, right? He has an arm.
His first pass of the year was a pretty good one. Completion and touchdown. Let's see if Jalen Hurts and Alabama can answer now from the 25. Bo Scarborough in the backfield with Hurts. And it's a quarterback draw for Hurts. Nothing doing. Might have lost a half yard. Dontavius Russell was the first guy there.
And that's the problem with this Auburn defensive line for Alabama to handle. This time it was Russell, number 95. He inside beats Hassenauer, but there's 4 of them. And you don't know which guy's going to make the big play. You cannot key on any one of the 4.
Remember, those guys handled the Georgia offensive line 2 weeks ago.
Did they ever?
Hurts. Plenty of time. He's going to go long. Got a man out there. Ridley incomplete. There comes the flag.
Absolutely. You know, in college football, this makes sense. Okay, it's a 15-yard play. In the NFL, obviously, on interference like this, it's going to be right there. You cannot afford
15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic. First down.
If you're Javarius Davis, you can't afford to give up a 50-yard play. You grab him with your right arm and you live with a 15-yard gain. It's one of those rules. You know, I hear a lot of guys saying it needs to be changed in college football. What I'd like to see is there be a judgment call. Let the official make up his mind if he did it to save a big play.
Jalen Hurts will keep it again. This time he's into the secondary, and he's inside the 45.
In our open, I talked about what Alabama fans should look at, and especially Auburn fans should look at when they watch Jalen Hurts. He's a young Cam Newton. That's basically the offense that Auburn has to stop. It's Cam Newton running the ball and throwing the ball for Alabama.
First down at the 43. Hurts fakes out in the flat, throwback screen the other way to Scarborough. And the big fella rumbles down. A flag comes in late. See if we're going to have a holding. He had some guys out in front. He got to the corner, but it might be coming back.
Yeah, I think it's clipping by Jonah Williams, number 73 this time. I think he got Nick Ruffin from behind that time, and it's coming back.
Personal foul, illegal block below the waist, number 73. 15-yard penalty from the spot of foul. Replay, first down.
Let me get your eyes on the spot. 73 is left tackle right there. It's a screen pass. Now Jonah's hustling on the play, but can't quite get up there. And when he throws, he gets the clip. It was late, but it was a clip or block below the waist, whatever way you want to call it.
And it backs it up to the 44-yard line. They fake the throw out to Jacobs, and now Hurts looking for somebody to come open, and he can't find anybody. Just has to run it out of bounds.
Ness, this is the second time that Alabama tried with a play-action pass to window dress a deep ball. Look at those Auburn players play man-to-man coverage, especially down here. Cleans it up by just chucking his receiver. That's legal in college football, not in the NFL.
Second down and 27.
Now can that defensive line dominate?
Just a four-man rush, and they're bringing the heat.
They did.
And Hurts lost the ball, and Auburn's got it. Trey Williams on top of it.
They did dominate. Only the third turnover by the Alabama offense, their first team offense all season. I think it was Derek Brown that knocked the ball away. It was Jeff Holland that flushed him out, and Trey Williams who ended up with the ball. Jeff Holland flushes Hurts. Big play by Derek Brown, and that front four. When you get any offense in college football backed up with those athletes, you got problems.
What about maybe a quick strike here after the turnover?
Well, they went sugar huddle. They always do something funny out of that.
Stidham's going to whip it out. Kerryon Johnson got 10 or 11. And they'll keep the pedal down. They move the sticks. First and 10, Auburn. And this time, Alabama wraps up Johnson after maybe a 2-yard gain.
Let's again talk about that Auburn offensive line. You know, Alabama's defensive line can stymie a lot of football teams, but Auburn is featuring 4 seniors. They've been in this game. They know big-time college football. They are big, strong, aggressive football players, and if they can get stalemates up there, they'll be creases for Kerryon.
He got 2 on the last carry. Second down and 8. Just outside the Alabama 31. Trying to take advantage of the Trey Williams fumble recovery. Johnson moves the pile for about 3. It'll bring up third down.
I think Jeremy Pruitt and Nick Saban will love that. Get into third and medium, control the running game, and now let's see if they can get a pass rush here.
Tigers line up in a hurry. On 3rd and 5, Stidham rolling left, going that way, first down, and it's Davis. That'll be a single season record receiving for Ryan Davis and a first down, more importantly for Auburn.
Excuse me, Brad. Kerryon Johnson gets the block on Minkah Fitzpatrick to make the play.
Back to the live action, Davis again, inside the 10.
I mean, Stidham is throwing strikes. Come on, he is not in awe of anything here. This is really Alabama's first pro potential quarterback they face this season, and he is keeping them off balance. He's accurate. They're rolling out. Every part of the Auburn offense now is keeping Alabama's defense off balance.
We talked to Ryan Davis yesterday. He said, I'm so excited to have my name in the record books if it comes to that. He's already got 3 catches in this quarter. First and goal. Kerryon Johnson might be to the 4, close to it. Red zone defense for Alabama. They're one of the best in the country. They've only allowed 11 rushing touchdowns all season long. Second fewest in college football. There's Jeremy Pruitt, the defensive coordinator.
I smell something here, Brad. Why is number 80 Sam Cannella in the game? He doesn't play much. Maybe a fade. He's a big, tall receiver. Why is he in the game?
Second and goal at the 4. Stidham flushed out of the pocket. Throws on the run, incomplete.
Good job by Minkah Fitzpatrick. He was matched up on him. They were trying to go to Cannella. He had him one-on-one to the outside. Minkah, remember, he was a former corner when he started out. He gets up into the grill of Cannella. Stidham comes out of it and has to go the other way. Great defense from Alabama.
And they come up with a goal line stop here. Third and goal. 4 wideouts. Stidham's been almost perfect in this quarter. That's Hastings, a motion man. And drop the ball. Let's see who's on it. Alabama might have it. Wow. They do. Deron Payne. It's about the first thing that's gone wrong for Auburn all day.
I think Jarrett Stidham should have just fell on this instead of trying to save the play. Fall on it. You got 3 points. When he doesn't, he tries to pick it up, and then the wash comes back and doesn't allow him to get it. Remember, with Carlson, you get 3 points if you just fall on it. He tries to do too much, and it costs him a turnover.
Deron Payne comes up with a fumble recovery. Stops an Auburn drive and ends the first quarter 7-0 with the Tigers in front. We'll return to Auburn after this message and a word from your local station. Starting the second quarter at Jordan-Hare. 7-0 Tigers on their home field. Had an opportunity to maybe make it 14-0 a moment ago. But now it's Alabama's ball at their own 9-yard line. Corner blitz. Jalen Hurts going to run into the middle of the pile, and he'll get about 4 yards out of it. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, partner. We got 3 quarters to play. We might look back on that fumble right there as a season changer even.
Well, I mean, it was a sure 3 points, and you'd like to have it back, but it's different. It's a different game. Last year, only 7 first downs for Auburn the whole game. They got 9 already. The difference? A quarterback. Jarrett Stidham's 12 for 14. Last year, Sean White was injured. They struggled. Only had 1 first down in the whole first half. It's an even fight this year. Alabama has to look at this and say, we're going to have to score.
On second down, play action for Hurts. Pressure coming from Holland. And now from the inside, and Jalen's got nowhere to go. Let's check in with Allie.
Guys, there is a change on the Alabama offensive line. J.C. Hassenauer was in the tent for about 2 minutes, and they took him straight to the locker room to evaluate him further. As soon as I know more about the injury, I'll let you know.
All right, Allie,
that's
thanks.
A big injury.
Yeah, because he was in there for Pierce Baker to start with. And now they're trying to protect their quarterback, who's inside his own 15-yard line.
Yeah, that's red lights. That's red lights flashing for Alabama right now. Their 3rd guard in the game.
3rd and 5. Ridley in motion toward the ball, and now back to the left. And Hurts is looking that way. Flushed out of the pocket. Can he find an open man? Going to go deep down the sideline and incomplete. Foster was the closest receiver.
I'll tell you, they flushing them again. On 3rd down, this Alabama offensive line has got a problem. They've got 4 elite pass rushers up front that they have to handle and on long yardage situations, or better said, when Auburn can pin their ears back on a pass play, Alabama is struggling.
I didn't see the flag, but it's out at the 34-yard line. It would look like the vicinity of defensive holding just because of where the flag is.
I know Cam Sims is pointing out to the Auburn players as if he got held.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct on the defense, number 14. Unsportsmanlike conduct on the offense, number 3. Those penalties were canceled. 4th down.
All right, so offsetting penalties. Ridley getting tangled up over there with Stephen Roberts.
Well, there's no doubt that Auburn, Kevin Steele saw the tape from 2 weeks ago. Let's not count the game last week against Mississippi State. He knows that the go-to guy on offense is Calvin Ridley. And they are going to put a hand on him all day because Hurts, when he scrambles, looks for number 3.
You look behind Stephen Roberts, as Gary said, he had a 58-yard punt return in this game a year ago that set up a field goal, but he's got a punter who doesn't allow hardly anyone to return punts on him. J.K. Scott will kick from near his own goal line.
Not real high.
And it's going to take a great bounce, though, for Alabama. Wow. You got to be kidding.
Yep. They all work.
65-yard punt.
Let's see if we can find it. I mean, it's on the far side of the field. I think it's right over here. Let's see if we can get your eyes on it. Right to the outside. Roberts and Ridley over there pushing each other at the end of that play.
Oh, yeah. It went on for a while. 13:38 remaining first half. 7-0 Tigers.
Adam Zucker in New York with this forward update. Baker Mayfield didn't start or serve as captain for number 4 Oklahoma because of last week's sideline behavior, but in there for the second series against West Virginia. Touchdown to CeeDee Lamb. Sooners on top of West Virginia 14-3, looking to avoid a stumble before the Big 12 title game. Back to the Iron Bowl.
All right, Zook. Obviously, Baker Mayfield, I think, as everybody's leader right now as far as Heisman contenders.
Well, Lamar Jackson's had a good season, hasn't he?
He's had great numbers again. His team's just not quite as good.
Yep.
And that's what Auburn's done so far. The fumble was huge. See what they put together after the long punt. Stidham pump fakes. Pressure. Down he goes. Kerryon Johnson picks up the fumble. And Johnson trying to get to a first down marker out of that, and does.
I wonder if Stidham pitched it to it, Brad. I thought it was a fumble too, but did Stidham at the last second realize he was going to lose 10 or 12 yards and toss it at the end of the play? Let's see what happens. He knows he's down. Yes,
right,
he does. He does. I'll bet Kerryon said, "Here I am. Here, give it to me."
Shortest pass route he's ever run.
But you know what? It was really a 12-yard gain, even though it's 2nd and 10. Boy, Jeremy Pruitt was aggressive. He blitzed off the slot again.
Stidham again. In trouble. And he's going to take off on his own.
Oh.
Gets it across the 25 to the 27. Dylan Moses, a freshman linebacker, made the stop.
I think the umpire got in the middle of that play. At the end of it, Stidham gets it again, where it's 3rd and 6 and makeable. Oh, yes, and from the blind side that time, the umpire took one from behind.
Did he ever?
It's not a penalty, though. You know, all these officials work really hard at, staying in shape, staying maneuverable, and that time he couldn't get out of the way of something he couldn't see.
3rd down at 5. Blitz coming from the Tide. Fitzpatrick got the back of Stidham, and it's incomplete.
Yeah, Minkah Fitzpatrick just finds a way, and he went right through Kerryon Johnson on this play, too. Fitzpatrick so aggressive coming off the edge right here. He's got Kerryon Johnson one-on-one. Got to make that block, Kerryon. You got it. They got a big play. They're blitzing. Your quarterback is hot. And Johnson doesn't give the quarterback enough time. 2
of the best players in the conference going head-to-head on that one.
Yep. That's the second big play Minkah Fitzpatrick has made. Remember the potential fade pass to Canella on there, and then that big play right there.
False start. Offense, number 49. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
Those are those hidden plays, okay? Yeah. The ball didn't go to Minkah Fitzpatrick on the fade pass on 2nd down. nothing happened. That just goes in the stats as an incomplete pass, okay? But those are two big, huge plays for Alabama to get back in the game, grab some field position, and get this thing closer than 7-0.
They should get decent field position out of this punt by Marshall.
It's low.
And a fair caught at the 39 by Trevon Diggs.
Well, I'll tell you, it's a win for Alabama to catch them.
Oh, yeah. They had a little trouble in that area this year. There is a football player right there.
Totally.
We were talking about Baker Mayfield maybe being the front runner for the Heisman a little while ago. That'll bring us to our Aflac trivia question. Which school has produced the most Heisman winners? I know why the word difference in there, I guess, because
yes.
Archie Griffin. Okay, I get it.
Just a note, inside for this Alabama offensive line, they're not going to go to a third player, a third guard. They're actually going to go back to Ross Pierce-Baker. Injured, but back in the game at left guard. Number 71 right there lined up next to Bozeman.
Josh Jacobs in the Alabama backfield. He's going to get the carry on a counter, and he got about 5. They've been using him a little bit more every week.
They really had. You know, in the key drives against Mississippi State with the game on the line in the fourth quarter, not only were the freshman receivers in, Smith and Judy like they are, but so was Josh Jacobs in the game.
And he stays in there at 41 yards on the ground, 45 as a receiver, including a touchdown a week ago. And he's going to block for Jalen Hurts. Bounced off one would-be tackler and got a first down somehow.
See, that again, I mean, you know, Auburn fans had a full year of Cam doing that to people. A perfect call on defense. Trey Matthews coming off the edge, off the slot, running right into the blitz. That should not work. But you know what? Their guy is better than your guy.
And Josh Jacobs didn't get one block. He got 2 blocks.
Yes.
First down. Alabama in Auburn territory at the 48-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. And that one good for about 3 more. Trey Williams made the tackle.
Calvin Ridley was very demonstrative in the slot on that play. I don't know if he was looking for an audible. He's only caught 1 ball for 5 yards. Remember, in the first half against Mississippi State, he kept Alabama in the game. He caught 2 for 124 yards, 2 60-yarders. Auburn has taken him away.
They only have 15 yards on the ground. They'll keep it on the ground, trying the same play they had a couple of moments ago. Jacobs again trying to lead the way as Hurts is knocked out of bounds short by about 3 yards.
And remember the pressure on Jalen Hurts on the pass plays. So what does Alabama do and Brian Dable? They go to the run game. That's 4 consecutive runs.
Alabama came in 43% on the year on their third down conversions. 0 for 2 today. 3rd and 3. Auburn thinking about a blitz off the corner. They're going to bring it. And Jacobs is not going to get there.
Well, first decision for Nick right now. He punted last time, but he's a little closer this time. Will he go for it? Remember, last time he gave the ball to Auburn on the 6-yard line and they scored. I'd go for it.
He's going for it, bringing an extra tight end.
Now can they handle that elite defensive line for Auburn?
They're perfect this year. Number 1 in the country on 4th down. They haven't missed one. 4th and a long yard here. Hurts hesitates and gets it. 13 for 13. That quiets the crowd momentarily.
I'll tell you, that time off the edge, number 84, Hale Hinchis, number 84, the tight end does a nice job of pinning Jeff Holland and allowing Jacobs to clean up, and Hurts make the first down.
At the Auburn 36.
You can almost feel they're going to go deep here, don't you, to Ridley? I mean, Ridley's going to get the ball. Short slot left. If you're going to throw the ball, don't you want to throw early? Yeah.
Oh, they're going to drop back. Now they're thinking about it. And the jump ball in the end zone. Won by Alabama. Jerry Jeudy, touchdown.
You could feel it.
Hurts to Jeudy, 36 yards, touchdown.
Jeremiah Dinson, number 20, against the true freshman Jeudy. Jeudy, not a play. You could feel they were going to go deep. You really did. I mean, they run the ball 5 straight runs. They tried to go to Ridley. He was not open, and Hurts just lets it go. I think Calvin Ridley actually tripped on the play, and that's why Hurts went deep late on the play.
They'll take it however it worked. Just give your guy an opportunity. That's what Hurts did.
I think Ridley's going to cross the screen right about, no, we're not going to see him. He's just out of the screen. Ball coming right at you. And one-on-one, 50-50 ball. This time it's Bama's.
60 yards in 7 plays. Jerry Jeudy's second touchdown catch of the year has tied it 7-7. Tomorrow, there are no judges, no courts, no police, and no crime. How does that all work? 60 Minutes visits an enchanting island tomorrow. Only CBS. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, Allie LaForce, our CBS crew, and an enchanting city on the plains here of Auburn, Alabama, where we're tied up at 7.
There's not a team in college football that's more clutch than Alabama. They've been doing it for 8 or 9 years. They play in a lot of big games. They come back. They may say they believe in momentum, but they don't play like they do. They just keep playing.
Wow, that one fielded dangerously and run out of bounds. Now, right now, let's do Project Smarter, presented by Home Depot. Gary?
Well, we talked about Alabama running 5 plays in a row. Now, watch. They're going to fake the run, and then Calvin Ridley comes across. That is the #1 play that I think Hurts was trying to get the ball to, but Ridley falls down. But look at the attention he gets from Roberts, the safety. That's why it was late throw to the middle, allowed Jeudy to get the big touchdown.
You called the long ball.
I knew they were going.
You're on a roll today.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm just going to let Tony Romo try to even up this thing, okay? I think I got the lead. Well, I got 20 years out of him. I should have the lead.
That's right. Kerryon Johnson got a couple. As we're down to 8:20.
He set a high bar. I'm coming after him, though.
Rashaan Evans going to be on the bottom of that pile, if they ever unpile. Not sure he wasn't shaken up on the play. That wasn't him. I think it was Levi Wallace who got up slowly, but he stays out there. 2nd down and 8. Stidham almost dropped the snap. Now fires near sideline. Bullet for a first down.
You know, I've always felt that, you know, you have to have, obviously, physical linemen, defensive linemen to play with Alabama. But don't come to the game without a quarterback. You do not have a chance. And that was a throw to the outside. Alabama will tip their hat and say, hey, that's too good.
Kerryon Johnson, one of his better runs of the day. Allie?
Guys, when I was watching Anthony Jennings on the sideline, he clearly had pain in his left arm, almost like he was losing feeling. He kept clenching his fist, moving his arm around the entire time he was on the sideline. He's dealing with some sort of injury, which is a huge blow, considering the depth at linebacker. Concern for Alabama right now.
He's trying to get in on that play, and somebody's trying to bring down Kerryon Johnson, and they had a tough time doing it.
Well, we talked about 2 weeks ago that Kerryon does those Le'Veon Bell runs. There was one right there. I mean, the other thing when you watch Kerryon play, he doesn't get hit hard. He just really is able to dodge. We talked to Kevin Steele and Gus Malzahn and Chip Lindsey about him, and they said he's got great vision.
Well, here he is again in the Wildcat. Broke one tackle. He's going to get a first down. Not by much, but he got it. You and I were talking about this the other day. Depends probably on the outcome of this game. I think he's the most valuable player in the conference.
Well, I mean, we're watching two of them. I mean, you know, is it Hurts? You know, how different would Alabama be without Hurts? He's providing their running game, but hard to argue against either one of them.
Malik Willis in at quarterback, and he's going to keep it and be dumped back around the 50.
Now, listen, if it would have worked, we would all said, boy, is Gus keeping Alabama off balance, right?
Yep.
When it doesn't work, the message boards light up.
I think I'd rather have number 8 out there throwing it right now. That's what they're thinking after the play, for sure.
I know. They all seem good when you call the play. Now 2nd and long. Alabama will be upset giving up a first down with 2nd and what, 15, 14.
14 to go. They got to get all the way to the 35-yard line.
Alabama is smartly substituting. They're delaying. They get 3 seconds to decide, and then they're calmly substituting to slow Auburn down.
And they're going to keep it on the ground. And Johnson only got a couple, so it's going to be 3rd down in a bunch.
You know what I thought on that play right there on 2nd down is the Auburn offense said, you know what, if we could hit a run here, we could get into field goal range. With Carlson, he can kick those 50-yarder pluses. Right. I think they're saying, I don't know if we can really get to the 35. Let's see if we can get Carlson with a shot at a field goal.
3rd down at 12. Let's see what Stidham can do. If he can get the pass away, he's going to run it. He got some of that yardage back.
Minka Fitzpatrick was able to give him another shot right at the end of that play.
And they're going to have to punt after he comes up short. Yeah, you're right.
Those hurt, I'll tell you.
They add up. Hayden Marshall will punt. Trayvon Diggs stands at about the 10-yard line. Wow. That one's up in the air. Bounces at the 1.
Again. That's 2 of them like that. I don't know if it hit on the line, though.
I think it hit right at the 1.
I think could it be that it hit on the line, or did it hit just short of the line, and they're going to get the ball there, Alabama on the 2. Remember, it doesn't matter where the player is, it's the ball. Oh, it was short. It was short. It hit on the half-yard line and stays right there.
There's a great shot.
Wow, look at the bite on that ball.
You'd like to do that with one of your chip shots.
I would.
Yeah. That's a happy punter.
Adam Zucker in New York. Coming up on the Geico Halftime Report, BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on today's games, including the game. Ohio State keeping its playoff hopes alive, overcoming a 14-point deficit against Michigan, 31-20. They got the Big Ten title game next week as we go back to Auburn.
Here at 7-7 with 4:27 remaining in the first half. Winner of this one goes to Atlanta to play Georgia for the SEC championship next Saturday. Alabama buried in a hole here just outside the 2-yard line. Bo Scarborough in the backfield with Jalen Hurts. Ridley in motion at Scarborough, and he stood up at the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
Brad, in 2013, everybody obviously remembers the kick 6, but I also remember A.J. McCarron hitting Cooper from like the 2-yard line, a 98-yard pass in a situation just like this, backed up, going left to right. I don't think you were here. I think that was Vern, wasn't it?
Was Vern.
I'm pretty sure that was Vern.
2nd and 9. Auburn pinning their ears back to try to get a pass rush at Scarborough again. This time they got a little bit more room. This is the flashback that Gary's talking about.
Was it? Yeah, there you go, 99 yards. How about our guys in the truck? Were they ready for this game?
Amari Cooper, there it was. Now one's playing for the Bengals, one's playing for the Raiders.
Well, one will soon be playing somewhere, A.J. McCarron. Really playing.
3rd down and 4. Alabama trying to keep this football and not have to get it back to the Tigers before halftime. A little bit of an audible there from Jalen Hurts. From his own goal line. Deep sideline to Ridley. Couldn't hang on.
Alabama tried a rub play. When you pick a player, this time Alabama tried to rub Ridley open. He's inside on the slot, and watch the wide receiver come in and rub for Ridley. Ridley come down the sideline with the play. Ball slightly underthrown, but great coverage on the play on that one. It would have had to have been perfect. Could have been caught, but obviously it wasn't.
Jordan Peters, the freshman, got his hand in there, and Ridley couldn't hold it. So now Scott's got a kick from his own end zone.
Jordan Peters, another one of those true freshmen getting playing time in this football game.
Roberts waits on this one, and then a late fair catch right at midfield. Auburn's got it back on offense, and they've got plenty of time. 2 timeouts to work with. A little bit earlier, we asked you the Aflac trivia question, which was, which school has produced the most different Heisman winners? I know there's 3 here. Pat Sullivan, 71, Bo in 85, and Cam Newton in 2010. USC and Notre Dame, each with 7. I think USC had to give one of those back, didn't they?
I think they did.
We'll just leave it at that.
Well,
there's one of the Heisman winners. Cam Newton, I think, is in New York today. I think they play the Jets tomorrow. First down for Auburn. Kerryon Johnson, a little hesitation, and then squirts down to the 45-yard line. Pick up a 4.
Chandler Cox, number 27, fullback, H-back, whatever he is, he cleans up on the linebacker this time and gives that crease. Good blocking up front, fit it in, and Kerryon Johnson attacks the whole 5-yard gain.
Auburn taking its time right now.
And I think they should. Remember, Alabama gets the ball to start the second half. They want to finish off this half.
Blitz coming on, 2nd and 6. Stidham going deep. Man's there. Going to have a flag? No. Slayton got tangled up back there with Levi Wallace, but no penalty.
I thought Slayton misjudged this. He knew he had the defender on his hip. And I don't know if there was a tuck by the Alabama, by Levi Wallace. Yes, there was. He tucked his arm, but I thought Slayton was slowing down as well, trying to catch it with his outstretched arm. I don't think that's enough contact. I think that's a good no call. I really do. I know that's dangerous to say about either team in this game. Believe me, I've been here a while. I get it. But I think that's a good no call.
So it brings up 3rd down.
All out blitz.
Over the middle. On the run. Ryan Davis to the 22.
Wow. Jeremy Pruitt on 3rd and 5. Sends the house. Stidham sees it and calmly just hits the crosser underneath that time. What a play. I think Chip Lindsey anticipated that blitz.
23 yards to number 23. And now it's Stidham to the 21.
You know, Jarrett Stidham, after delivering that pass, but early in this game, he took a couple big hits when he ran the ball. Those kind of grow on you. Let me tell you that right now. Well, you know, Chip Lindsey and Jeremy Pruitt go back. They kind of can read each other's minds. They coached high school almost real close to each other. I think Chip Lindsey got one on that one.
Kerryon hit by Deron Payne.
Whoa. Deron Payne doesn't usually get a lot of stats because he's eaten a lot of blockers up front. But that time, if he ate a blocker, he threw him away. Or he swallowed him or something.
He ate a fumble recovery earlier.
Right in the middle this time.
Bang.
Oh, he actually takes on 2 defenders for Auburn that time. They double-teamed him, and he came off both of them to make that play. What a play.
All right, last time on 3rd down, on 3rd and 5, Auburn got a 23-yard pass play. They got 3rd and 8 here.
Smart play by Gus to bleed this clock. Most likely, you're going to kick a field goal. You do not want to give Alabama time to come back. Remember, they could get it twice. End of the first half, start of the second half.
So they take their 2nd timeout. Their quarterback will come over and talk things over. Coming up in about 48 seconds, Adam and Rick and BJ will have the Geico halftime report. A look back at what has happened already today. Talk about this game and then a look ahead to what is yet to come on rivalry weekend. Here it's 3rd down and 8 for Auburn.
If I'm Jarrett Stidham, I'm not worried about a sack. I have a great kicker. I'm looking to make a big play. I'm not just going to throw it away quickly.
Alabama thinking about a blitz off the corner, maybe off both corners. Last time they got burned blitzing on 3rd down. Here they come. Stidham over the middle. Same kind of play, but this time a great open field tackle by Ronnie Harrison.
Yeah. I think both sides anticipated exactly what was going to happen. Auburn saw the blitz coming. They stayed with the play, and Alabama figured it'd be one of those fast passes. We'll let you catch it and make the tackle. A win for both sides.
Now you bring out the all-time leading scorer in SEC history, Daniel Carlson. This will be a 33-yard attempt. 3-time semifinalist for the Groza Award. He's an extra weapon and has been for 4 years here for Auburn.
Obviously, Alabama did not use a timeout there.
And now we got a timeout.
First charge timeout, Alabama.
So that'll let Carlson think about it for 30 seconds or so. So Nick Saban let Daniel Carlson think about this field goal for a minute. 33-yard attempt. He's had 2 blocked this year. They try to give Auburn the lead back from 33 yards. Kick is perfect.
Carlson got hit after he made the kick there. Tony Brown came across the edge. No big deal. Carlson's a good actor, I guess, right?
Gives his team back the halftime lead, 10-7. And Alley's with Nick.
Coach, what will it take to get off to a better start offensively in the second half?
Talk about our offense?
Yes.
Well, you know, we stopped ourselves the first couple times we had the ball with the penalty and, 4th and short. But, the big difference in the game to me is 3rd down. We're not getting off the field on 3rd down on defense. We're not converting 3rd downs on offense. So we're not keeping the ball to extend drives.
How do you make things more difficult for Jarrett Stidham in the pocket?
Well, I can't hear what you're asking.
How do you make things more difficult for Jarrett Stidham in the pocket? He's having a good first half.
Yeah, on 3rd down, because we're getting pressure on him. He's had to scramble a couple times. We've got good pressure on him, but we're not doing a good job of covering him.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Alabama, in fact, 0 for 4 on 3rd down conversions. So Nick knows of what he speaks. And his team is down at halftime. Number 6 leading number 1, 10-7, as we head to Zook and the guys in New York.
All right, hard to hear when Auburn's on top of Alabama. Thank you, Brad. Coming up here on the Geico Halftime Report, BJ, Rick, and I get you caught up on all the playoff contenders in action today after this word from your local station.
And so we played half the Iron Bowl at Jordan-Hare, 82nd edition, and Auburn leading 10-7 as we're just about set to start the 3rd quarter. Alabama will get the football first to start the 3rd. And they're going to have to try to muster some offense because they couldn't in the first half. Carlson's got it teed up. Jacobs and Diggs back deep for Alabama. Auburn is not a good kick coverage team.
Yeah, that was one of the things I was surprised about at the end of the half. Nick Saban not calling a timeout and challenging that kick coverage for Auburn.
Let's see if they cover this one. I don't think it's going to be returnable anyway. Oh, it is. Going to bring it out. Jacobs got out to the 20, bounced off a would-be tackler, and then dropped right about at the 20. Brad Nessler, Gary Danielson, as we welcome you to the booth. Garrett,
I was facing that way.
I know, but
we're doing it this way.
We're doing it this way. Hey, 128 yards offense for Alabama. Auburn's defense came to play, didn't they?
They did. And I thought in the game, there was times when the Auburn defense was dominating, the times they did dominate with the pass rush. But what stands out to me is the Alabama running backs Jalen Hurts is the leading carrier in this game. The running backs, Scarborough, Harris, Jacobs, the three of them are 7 for 27. That's been the difference.
Hurts is going to come out throwing it to Damian Harris, trying to get to the corner. Did. Harris got a first down on the first play of the third quarter as we check in with Allie.
Guys, I talked to Coach Malzahn. I said, what's going to set your team apart in the second half? He said, we have to run the football. That and protect our quarterback, and I'm confident we can win this football game.
Well, Stidham was certainly good in the first half.
Yeah, that's a pretty good game. I mean, he got 150 yards throwing. I mean, you know, he was so calm. Wasn't he not calm when we saw him?
Yeah, he was.
Man, he looked like he was going to go out and play golf today instead of Alabama's defense.
Damian Harris, this time on the ground, and he's still on his feet into Auburn territory. That's the biggest play of the day for Alabama, with the exception of that 36-yard touchdown pass in the first half.
Jeff Holland, number 4, got hooked on this play. Watch on the outside right here. Holland gets blocked. Oh, a nice help that time by Irv Smith to set up the block by Womack, and that keyed the play. Great combination block by the tight end and tackle for Alabama.
So a couple of quick plays, and Harris has been the recipient so far. He's got it to the 35-yard line. Damian Harris and Jarrett Stidham, they go way back. How about when they're 8 years old, the Richmond 49ers? There's Stidham, the quarterback, Damian Harris, the tailback. They've been texting back and forth in their careers this week. And the 49ers in their Super Bowl, if you will, they beat the Browns.
They did.
Of course, everybody
that's not fair.
beats the Browns.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Okay.
Easy. We're very touchy about that.
I know you are. They toss. They fake the toss and give it to Scarborough, and the big fella rumbles down inside the 25.
Well, remember, it was Bo Scarborough that Alabama rode at the end of 216. LSU, he ran 11 for 52 as Alabama's going to hurry this thing up right now. And he just continued. Auburn, he had 17 carries for 90 yards.
There he comes again, and there he goes again. Touchdown, Alabama. Scarborough from 21 yards out, and just like that, Alabama regains the lead.
And it was at halftime a year ago that Nick came out. Nick Saban told Allie, we're going to run the ball in the second half, and Scarborough was the guy that lit the fuse. This time, he does it again. Bradley Bozeman gets a good block at center. That allows no penetration, and Big Bo shows what he had at the end of 16, he still has in 2017.
Papanastis in for the point after. Up and good.
That drive kind of reminded me of the opening drive by Alabama. Remember, Damian Harris started out with that quick one, but this time they finished it off. At the end of the half, Nick Saban said to Allie, we had 4th and short, we punted. I don't think he liked that when he thought it over again.
Damian Harris did quite a bit of the work, and then Bo Scarborough says, I'm getting in the act. His 8th touchdown rush of the year, and Alabama's in front.
Well, the last drive, give it to the Alabama offensive line. Cotton, Womack, and Smith right here. Watch the blocks at the beginning of this drive to seal it and allow Damian Williams to break it for the big play. Bo gets a counter coming back. And then on 3rd down, it's the other 3 players. The center, Bozeman. Right there, Williams, and of course, in Piersbacher, after he was injured, could not carry that in fast. But you got all 5 offensive linemen making plays to spring the running backs. That's how the running game goes. Is give them the pancakes, right there.
There you go.
Give them the pancakes.
So J.K. Scott to kick as Alabama's regained the lead. This one from the goal line. Nagany out across the 20 to the 21. And that's where Auburn will go to work.
Well, Gus Miles made his mark with his hurry-up, no-huddle offense in the first half. They had 42 total plays. They really had 29 opportunities when it wasn't first down or after a penalty to go fast. They went fast 9 times and successfully, and they also window dressed it a little bit. Every time Alabama knew that it was potentially to go fast.
Somewhere Les Miles is saying, I'm not Gus Miles.
Oh,
Gus
no,
Miles.
did I do that?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. I've got too many names in my head. Thank you, Brad.
First down.
Mr. Smarty Pants turned into a dummy.
Well, let's take a look at some game trends here.
You handle this one, okay?
Okay. Stidham's been really good, except losing the fumble. Hurts had one big play. It was a touchdown.
God, there was a lot of names there. I was just going through names.
You really were. You really were. 2nd and 5 for Stidham. Running out of time, and he's going to tuck it and keep it.
I was wondering why you had a big smile on your face while I was going through that.
I could just see the Mad Hatter out there someplace listening to the game.
I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
And there's the freshman linebacker, Dylan Moses, who's been a big part of this defense the last couple of weeks.
That gave him that athletic ability in that inside linebacker spot that Sean Dion Hamilton was lost. Sets that left leg, kind of turns his ankle as he sets his left foot there.
And that puts Mac Wilson, who's not necessarily 1,000% healthy, back in there. He's been banged up a little bit the last couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, they're both. Wilson's right there, top of the screen.
Here they come after Stidham. Over the middle on a late throw, got it to Hastings. And Hastings gets it to the 48-yard line.
Mac Wilson missed Hastings. Sometimes it's good to be small. Mac Wilson tried to get the block on Hastings coming across the middle and did not get it.
Now Stidham's going deep. Flags are down. Ball is incomplete. Slayton, the intended receiver, but again a flag at about the 27-yard line.
Illegal substitution on the defense. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I thought they had a guy coming in late before the snap of that ball. I couldn't see the number.
Yeah, top of your screen, you can see it as we widen out here. There are guys coming on the field, and I think Buggs is kind of easily going off the field. He did not hustle off the field, and it cost him another play for 1st and 5 for Auburn.
Raekwon Davis was trying to come in for Buggs, and they got a little confused. So penalty against Alabama.
I thought if Buggs would have hustled, though, he could have got off. He kind of dogged it off the field.
1st and 5. Quick throw out to Davis. Puts the brakes on and gets a first down. Put his hand down to keep his balance and picks up the first down.
Well, just think about this on this wide receiver quick screen. I mean, you work really hard to get your back in space one-on-one. Look, they throw it out there, you get on one-on-one, and Ryan Davis beats him.
Stidham wants a deep shot. Instead, he's going to have to scramble and goes down. Evans is there. So is Deshaun Hand. And Stidham's lid comes off, so he's going to have to come off.
Unless there's a penalty on the play.
Oh, that could be.
There's a flag on the field. Yeah, I think they're going to call Rashaan Evans for taking his helmet off. And he will not have to come off the field.
Well, he had him in one of those WWE headlocks.
Right, he did. Will they pick it up or not?
After the play was over, personal foul. Number 32 on the defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Rashaan Evans trying to be physical at the end of this play. Grabs him around the head. He's down. And then kind of, well, I don't know if he does much. I don't know if he just comes off or not there. I could not tell from that look. Seemed a little ticky-tacky to me, but it was close.
Jarrett Stidham will take that. Doesn't have to come off the field and gets a free 15. And now gives it off to Kerryon Johnson. Trying to find a hole and won't find one. Raekwon Davis was the first guy there, and then the Tide helped him out.
Got another angle here on Rashaan Evans here, number 32 coming from behind. Players down. I don't know. I did not think that was a penalty. I'm sorry.
I don't think I did either, but I like the fact that he's trying to protect the quarterback.
I wish they had these rules when I played.
That's what I was thinking. 2nd and 8. Stidham going to have to throw this one away. And it's going to bring up 3rd and long.
You know, sometimes you just choose the wrong side of the field. There's not much you can do about it. You look pre-read, you don't have anything, then you get the corner blitz, and look, you got him wide open right there. If you would have just stayed with the corner blitz and read it out, you should retreat and throw that ball right where the displaced corner is.
6 out of 11 today for Auburn on their third down conversions. Evans is coming off the edge. Stidham standing in and now trying to get away from Evans, and he's got to get rid of it again. So Rashaan Evans, after picking up the penalty, picks up enough pressure to force an upcoming field goal.
Well, the pressure, you can tell Jeremy Pruitt's going to blitz. They're coming. Evans from this side, pressure from the other side. Forced one way by Minkah Fitzpatrick out to Evans, and Evans forces to throw late. Stidham saved a field goal opportunity by getting rid of the ball there.
Evans got a piece of the quarterback twice.
Well, Jeremy Pruitt is just dialing up the blitzes, boy.
This is not a chip shot, even for Carlson. 44-yard attempt. And a kick on the way. And good. I guess it was a chip shot for him.
Well, he always talks about we, and that means his holder, Tyler Stovall. He says we made that one. He and his holder. They got it through.
Well, those two guys made it a one-point game is what they did. 52-yard drive, a little over 3 minutes. Alabama by 1. The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by GMC, Dr. Pepper, New York Life, and by Pizza Hut. Back the loveliest village on the plains, Auburn, Alabama. Auburn trailing top-ranked team by 1. Confident on the field and in the classroom. Here's today's Scholar Athletes presented by Quicken Loans. Talk about Tyler Stovall being the holder for Daniel Carlson. He's the oldest guy on the team because he played minor league baseball for a few years. He, along with Hale Henches, tight end for Alabama. Quicken Loans' commitment to the investment of our future, shown today by donating $1,000 to Alabama and Auburn's General Scholarship Fund.
Last time we were here for Georgia, Tyler came in and he owned the room.
Did he ever?
Yes.
You could tell he was 27 just by the way he acted.
Yeah. Well, tension. A lot of tension in this game. Remember, both of these teams in control of their own fate. Win this game, and they move on to the championship. Alabama got knocked down on the mat early, but they're used to this. They've been in a lot of big games.
And waiting on Daniel Carlson's kick. Josh Jacobs hesitated for a moment, but brings it out again. And he gets out around the 22, maybe the 23-yard line. College football playoff standings coming into today. Alabama in the top spot. Miami having lost to Pittsburgh yesterday. Clemson and South Carolina play later tonight. So that's how it looks. But Gary's got his own mind about things.
Remember badges? We don't need no badges. We don't need no stinking committee. These teams do not have to worry about a committee. Either one of the 3 SEC teams, Miami and Clemson, control their own fate. The Big Ten, Wisconsin, if they win, they're automatically win. Not sure about Ohio State. And if Oklahoma wins out, you will see the 4 playoff teams from those teams above right there because they don't want to go to that committee. They don't want to play with that committee.
You want to get back to that roulette wheel of yours?
Committee roulette, anything can happen.
Here's Bo Scarborough, scored the last time they had the ball. Let's go back 1 second to the wheel. This is if everything doesn't go as planned, right?
Now, these are the guys that are committed. We're just hoping the committee thinks towards them. A 1-loss Alabama. Ohio State wins the Big Ten championship. They beat Michigan today. What if TCU upsets Oklahoma? Ew, what? USC, they're still alive?
Those are the ifs.
Oh, okay.
The present is Alabama by 1. And Bo Scarborough with the ball goes down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 3rd and 5.
Well, we talked about the running backs at half. They had carried the ball 7 times for 27 yards. In the last drive alone, the running backs Harris and Scarborough carried it 4 times for 67 yards. 3 times what they had done before, or 2.5 times.
And the rest of those 77 first half yards were Jalen Hurts. This is where he hurts you too sometimes. 3rd and 4.
Here's where if you're Kevin Steele and Gus Malzahn, you're depending on your defensive line.
Hurts going to throw it out in the flat to Scarborough. And Roberts, what a tackle. Can't do it any better than that.
You know, when we were talking to defensive coordinator Kevin Steele, we were singing the praises of Trey Matthews. And he said, don't sleep on Stephen Roberts, right? He's having a great year for us, making tackles like a strong safety. I says, you know why we don't talk about him a lot? He looks like a corner out there.
Right.
And he made a big tackle for Kevin Steele's defense.
189-pound safety out of just up the road in Appalachia, Alabama.
I could have just seen Bo just shaking that guy off and going for it there. I just was anticipating that. What a play.
Punt. They're caught at the 32-yard line by Ryan Davis. And Auburn takes over. 8 minutes, 8 seconds remaining, 3rd quarter. That's how you bring down the big guy in the open field. Their defense is giving their offense the football back when we return. Don't forget, coming up later in the game, the play of the game presented by Napa Auto Parts. Talked about the Alabama linebackers and the guys they missed. They missed that guy.
They sure do. He was their signal caller. Remember, he went out in the LSU game. If you don't count sacks to subtract, LSU rushed for 188 yards against this Alabama defense, most of it without Sean Deion Hamilton. Mississippi State 2 weeks ago rushed for 182. Now, you put in new guys, it's not seamless, but Alabama has missed that middle linebacker, Sean Deion Hamilton.
Yeah, he was the guy calling the shots over there. Injured his kneecap in that game and out for the year.
I thought they missed him in the national championship game last year, too, to tell you the truth.
Auburn only down 1 with the football back. Maybe a yard for Kerryon Johnson. More on injuries. Here's Allie.
Guys, keep your eye on Dylan Moses for Alabama. He's out there on the field, but he did suffer a right ankle injury. They retaped it and cleared him to play. Also, Trey Matthews for Auburn, his hamstring tightened up on him again. It's that same left hamstring he injured during LSU. It's been a nagging injury.
All right, Allie, you called him out. He made the tackle. Moses on the last stop after a yard game. Kerryon Johnson again. Going to be 3rd down coming up. Moses made another stop.
You know, sometimes you think about, oh God, this, Auburn offense has the Alabama defense off balance. Okay, they've given up a touchdown, which is about par for their defense. This is their 9th game against a Power 5 conference football teams. Coming into this game, they've given up 8 touchdowns in Power 5 football. This is 9. They've given up 9. They're still defensively very strong.
A little over 10 points a game as tops in the country defensively for Alabama. Stidham on 3rd down, crossing route. Ryan Davis on the run. Davis cuts outside. He's all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Yeah, Levi Wallace again. Davis just a little bit too quick for him. Comes in motion. Watch him come in motion. Just a bit of a, well, not even a rub. I was going to try to give Levi Wallace a bit of a break, but once Davis gets it out of position, big play.
Pick up at 25, and now back to number 21. Raekwon Davis makes a stop. Short gain by Kerryon Johnson.
Well, Auburn is one of the most balanced football teams in all of college football. That's the 54th play in this game by Auburn. They've run the ball 28 times and passed it 26. They are using strong balance, a little tempo to keep Alabama, that strong defense, a little bit off balance.
2nd down and 7. Only 3 teams in the country average over 230 yards rushing and passing a game. Auburn, Louisville, and Ohio State. And it's ready to pass again, but it's going to be a throwaway.
Yeah, Deron Payne, number 94. He forced the play and broke up the play right away, right up the middle.
He's been a pain for Stidham today, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for Casey Dunn, the center. Let's see if it is the center, Casey Dunn. Yes, it was. Number 50, Casey Dunn, is a graduate transfer from Jacksonville State. There were no pains, Deron Paynes, that Casey was playing against when he was at Jacksonville State. He's been fighting. Actually, he was an important adjustment for this Auburn offense when he was inserted after game 2, though.
3rd down at 7. Stidham looking for his 20th completion of the game to pick up a first down. If he gets a chance to throw, now he's going to run with it. Diving, did he get it? He did.
Well, Tony Brown, number 2, rushed off the slot. He did not make the play, but he ended up flushing Stidham out of the pocket along with Mac Wilson, number 30. Tony chases it down, but not in time.
Drive stays alive for Auburn. Trying to come back and regain the lead. They're already in field goal position. Wildcat, Kerryon Johnson got 2, maybe 3.
Man, Christian Miller, number 47, the injured linebacker who was hurt against Florida State in the opener. All the questions were how many plays could he play as we look at Tony Brown on the sideline. He's out there. I think he's rotated maybe every 3rd series or something like that. And he's going to rotate out.
So 2nd down and 7. Stidham quarterback draw this time. Got a big hole in the middle of the field. Stidham down to the 12.
Number 77, Markel Harrell, is the offensive lineman that makes the move and comes in on Rashaan Evans. Watch this. Comes around perfectly, walls off Evans on the play. Who would have thought that Stidham is going to run a quarterback draw?
He got 12 yards and he got it to the 12.
Got to hand it to Chip Lindsey or Gus, whoever's calling the plays. They are calling good plays. This is a tough Bama defense to move the ball, and they're doing it pretty well.
Now it's Kerryon Johnson stood up at the 11.
Nothing easy, is it? Kerryon Johnson, who made Georgia look, less than number 1, that's for sure. Today it's been a lot tougher. Few and far between has he been able to break through that defensive line.
Johnson last week had his 7th straight 100-yard game. He's been a workhorse again today in that backfield. At the 10-yard line. Stove's going to get it on an end around. Got a blocker in front. Diving down around the 4-yard line. Are they going to say he's out? Nope, at a 4.
I think Chandler Cox, number 27, gets the key block. The H-back coming right at you. He arc blocks and finishes off the block to clear it for those extra 3 or 4 yards.
Here's the biggest 1 yard of the game. 3rd and 1.
Yeah, what do you do if you're Gus Malzahn if you don't make it here?
Kerryon Johnson in the Wildcat. He will keep it. Hesitates, waits for his blockers, and heads to the corner. He's not in, but he's got it 1st and goal.
A big tackle by Ronnie Harrison that time to save a touchdown.
Kerryon holding his shoulder a little bit.
He is. Watch number 15, left side of your screen right there. Fights off a block and hits the left shoulder of Kerryon Johnson. Helmet to shoulder.
1st and goal. He stays in there. And he gets in there. Touchdown, Auburn.
Did Darius James pull him in? Number 78. Let's watch James right here to see if he isn't the one that helps the injured Kerryon Johnson get in the, he runs right into him and then he pulls him in.
Little bear hug.
Yes, Johnson's hurting. You can tell by that limp left arm as he walks off.
Extra point by Carlson. Up and good. Auburn seesaws back in front. Kerryon Johnson going on the Auburn 10th. Not a good sign. But with 3:02 to go in the 3rd quarter, this is a good sign. 69-yard drive and 12 plays, a little over 5 minutes. And Kerryon Johnson's 17th rushing touchdown of the year has the Tigers back in front. Auburn fans holding their breath about what's going on in that tent right now, with Kerryon Johnson having gone in there before the timeout.
Watch, Braden Smith is blocking Ronnie Harrison right there. But as he stretches the ball out, he makes himself vulnerable to the hit from Ronnie Harrison. As he stretches his left arm out, that allows that helmet to go right in that area. If he'd have ducked it down, I think Kerryon Johnson thought he was going to be able to lay out and score the touchdown. That could be a huge play with 3 minutes to go in the third quarter if Auburn does not have Kerryon Johnson.
He did take it the last yard, though, before heading into that tense, and they had the lead back. Carlson's kickoff upcoming. Jacobs has returned most of them today, even when they've been deep in his own end zone. This line drive is bobbled a little bit by Diggs. And now Trayvon Diggs weaving his way through traffic. Diggs across the 30, down the near sideline. Trayvon Diggs all the way to the 40 of Auburn.
And I think Josh Jacobs helped him miss. But again, that weakness, you know, it's like in baseball. You got a bad fielder, they always seem to hit it at that guy in a key time. The weakness of this Alabama team, their kickoff coverage unit.
Auburn, you mean?
Auburn team, yes. The kickoff coverage unit for Auburn. They give up the big return, and all of a sudden Alabama in a position to make this score and game a lot tighter.
55-yard kickoff return by Diggs sets up the Tide offense at the 40. Make it the 39-yard line of Auburn. Josh Jacobs back in there trying to be heard. And on the left side, Jonah Williams with a false start.
False start on the offense. Number 73, 5-yard penalty, first down.
So that'll back him up to the 44. As you take a look at the Dr. Pepper SEC West standings, this one is for all the marbles for the second time ever between Alabama and Auburn. It's a winner-take-all to get to Atlanta against Georgia. Win the West and head to Mercedes-Benz Stadium next Saturday to whoever survives this one. Hurts. The throw on the run. Got a man out there. Incomplete. And Ridley, the intended receiver. Here comes a flag on Carlton Davis.
I think Carlton Davis is going to be a future effective. Oh, he's got a grab of that jersey, doesn't he?
On the defense, number 6, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
He's got to grab it at 3, right at the bottom of the 3.
Yep, good call.
You know, and that's such a big play for Alabama because the play differential is starting to mount up for this Alabama team. 62 plays to 34 for Alabama. That third down bugaboo that Nick Saban told Allie, they're still 0 for 5 in the game.
Well, now they got a first down by penalty. And it's Jacobs down to the 23. Let's get an AT&T Field Passers look in New York.
All right, Ness. Jonathan Taylor's got a field pass for number 5, Wisconsin. Going to go 53 yards here, over 1,800 on the season. 31-0 on top of Minnesota. Back to you.
Guess we know where Paul Bunyan's axe is going to be. Going to stay in Madtown. Jacobs got a first down on that run. And Alabama back in the red zone at the 18-yard line of Auburn. Hurts. Holland giving chase. He's just got to get rid of it.
Hey, how smart Holland that time. He was not too aggressive on Hurts. He knew what was in front of him. If he went for a fast tackle on that play, Hurts was going to beat him. Stay patient, keep him in front of you like playing basketball. Keep him in front of you and force the throw.
And give him a little head nudge in the end there.
Well,
just to let him know you're there.
You are a defensive lineman. You're allowed to do that.
There's a quarterback comparison so far. Each has dropped a fumble. Second down and 10 for Jalen Hurts and the Alabama offense. Going to flip it out to Jacobs with blockers in front. He's knocked out at the 12, where it's going to bring up third down and about 5.
This play could have gone either direction. You've got a screen going both ways. You can throw it to the right side to Ridley or the left side to Jacobs.
Gary just told you a moment ago they haven't converted a third down all day. Here's another one. 3rd and 4.
Well, that Auburn defensive line saved them against Georgia. Can they do it here?
You look into the eyes of Mr. Clutch, Jalen Hurts. He's had to work for everything today, though.
I think it was delay a game.
It's so loud in here, It's hard to hear whistles.
Before the snap, delay a game. On the offense, number 2, 3rd down.
2nd late.
You know, and that's really no excuse for that. I mean, Jalen Hurts, that big play clock is right at the tunnel, both left and right. You can't be more than 25 yards away from him right there.
Now it's 3rd and 9, and it's getting louder in here by the moment. Ridley now goes in motion into a slot. Hurts got away from pressure. Finally throws back across his body. Jump ball tipped. Was it caught? Henches, did he get it? Touchdown.
Holy cow. Well, first of all, this ball should have never been thrown.
Understand, no catch.
No. Jalen Hurts is very fortunate that this ball didn't get intercepted. And it bounced off the ground.
Touchdown. The previous play is under further review.
Here's another look from back of the end zone.
I mean, it's hard to believe that Jalen Hurts threw this ball to begin with. He almost got the fortunate play of all time. I think the toe of the ball hits the ground. I do not think that's a catch. Not at all. The left hand comes off of it. That's going to be a field goal opportunity for Alabama. But, man, to throw that ball 40 yards across your body to Calvin Ridley, who's double covered, Alabama is very fortunate to have a field goal try on this.
And there's another look at what we think is going to be an incomplete pass.
I don't know if we're going to be able to see Ridley at the back of the end zone on this one. I think late. Yes, you see Ridley at the back of the end zone going left. Now look at this. 2 guys for Auburn. Could have been caught by anyone, but usually there's no chance for the offense. Ridley reverses his field, comes to his left, and Jalen Hurts on a scramble. His MO is he looks for number 3 when he scrambles. He sure did on that one.
Henches with a great effort to try to get his hands under that football. The Alabama tight end.
And remember, it was called a TD.
It was an incomplete pass.
I thought that was an easy one. That one hit the toe of the football, hit the ground. Henches' left hand came off the football. That's the right call. Sorry, it's the right call.
Andy Pappanastis in for the field goal try. He's 15 of 19 this year, but he's had a muscle pull and didn't play last week as a place kicker. This will be a 35-yard attempt to try to cut the lead to 3. Bobbled snap. Now J.K. Scott trying to throw it. Got it to Pappanastis, but Auburn takes over.
How ironic. For years, Nick Saban was one of the last coaches that used his quarterback to be a holder. He trusted old school that his backup quarterback should be the holder. And on this one, the punter, J.K. Scott, does not make the catch. And what might have been a touchdown, what might have been a field goal, turns into no points.
And Auburn takes over at the 26. Kerryon Johnson, a tough 2 or 3.
Just keep remembering what's at stake here.
Kerryon Johnson back in there. after being in the medical tent on the Auburn sideline. Second down and 7. Davis in motion. Stidham rolling right, firing, and it's complete to Davis. First down.
Holy cow, what a throw.
I think it's a first down.
They were able to match up Ryan Davis on Ronnie Harrison, the strong safety, but just as Harrison was trying to come out of his break, that ball was on the way, and I thought the arm was underneath it. What a catch, what a throw.
I called first down. I'm not 100% sure, but they moved the sticks, and we moved to the end of the third quarter. Crowd going crazy with 15 minutes to play. Number 6 leads number 1, 20-14. We'll return to Auburn right after this message and a word from your local station. We saw some of these same dance moves 2 weeks ago against then number 1 Georgia. 2 weeks later, we're back. Number 1 Alabama, and they're in trouble.
Well, it's a fourth quarter, and I love to watch Alabama and Auburn play in the fourth quarter. There's a lot that can happen, I'll tell you that. Listen, let's just sit back because Auburn has last 3 times they've had the ball, they've gone field goal, touchdown, field goal.
I don't know about you, but I've never done an Alabama game where they didn't pick up a third down conversion.
Yeah, exactly.
Auburn's got it right now with the lead, and Kerryon Johnson, even though he's banged up, is still out there wheeling it. That's going to put him over 100, I think.
Well, we wondered, I don't know what magic they have in that tent, but that left shoulder, and he's carrying the ball in his left arm, so it must feel strong. Another big play.
Stays in there in the Wildcat, over 100 for the 8th straight week, and doing it against the best defense in the country. Here he comes again. Snuck underneath there to get about 3.
You know, I asked Gus Malzahn, are you going? Obviously, you're not going to put Kerryon Johnson on a pitch count for this game. And he goes, no, but we would like to know that we're going to carry him at least 10 times in the fourth quarter. So we're going to manage it in different ways. You know, take him out, throw the ball, do a little bit different things. But they knew they would need him in the fourth quarter.
Stidham's out there at the top of your screen as a wide receiver right now. Davis in motion. And here comes a flea flicker as Stidham's got time. He's going to go back to Davis. Oh, what a move by Davis inside the 30, down to the 20-yard line. You talk about pulling out the offensive stops.
Well, it was a trick formation. Alabama should have been ready for it. When Auburn huddles up differently, they usually come out unbalanced. They were unbalanced. And what a nice play off of the Wildcat reverse throwback and then juke move at the end of it. That is everything on one play, right?
And a 25-yard pickup to the 20-yard line of Alabama. Tigers with a 6-point lead and driving. Kerryon Johnson for 4.
Remember, Jared Stidham was flanked out to the right. Kerryon Johnson, double reverse. Stidham throws it back. Watch the juke. He jukes him out of his pants right there, and that's a pretty good football player, Minkah Fitzpatrick, that he does that. Remember, Ryan Davis was a high school quarterback. He's used to having the ball in his hands and making people miss.
As we said earlier, in the first quarter already, he went over the single season mark in receptions in Auburn record books, and now Stidham, the quarterback, heading to the end zone, touchdown.
How about that group of plays right there for this Auburn football team? Just about everything you can have. Darius Slayton got a key block on Minkah Fitzpatrick to allow Stidham to get into the end zone. So, you know, Alabama gets the kickoff with great field position. They cannot take advantage of it. No points on the board.
It's Hootie Jones that's down right now.
It's Tony Jones. Auburn gets good field position. They make it count.
And Hootie's up, but he's going to have to get some help to head to the sideline. Here's another look at the play.
It's an unbalanced to the left. Fake inside. Good block right off the corner. Chandler Cox was the guy who got the block low on Hootie Jones coming off the edge. Good block, and that sprung the play.
Auburn 3 possessions this half. A field goal and then back-to-back touchdowns. And now, pending extra point, they're about to go up 13 with 12:49 to go.
You know, I understood going for 1 the last time. I don't get it this time. I'd go for 2 now.
They are.
I'd try to make this thing. I mean, what's the difference? Alabama's not going to be kicking field goals anymore. They're going for touchdowns.
So the 2-point try coming up.
Is it going to cost Auburn a timeout to get this play off? They got plenty of time. They're going the sugar huddle.
Stidham took it 16 yards for the touchdown. He'll handle it here.
They're going to take a timeout.
So they're going to talk things over here. Stidham's the guy that got him in the end zone. He's had a big day throwing the ball and a huge run here.
And now it's time for our Geico game recap.
Our Geico game recap. Jalen Hurts today early on the ground. He hurt the Auburn defense not so much in this second half. And he can hurt you through the air too. Biggest play of the day, 36-yard touchdown on a jump ball to Judy back there. That had Alabama in front. Bo Scarborough got in the act. Opening drive of the third quarter. He scored to give Alabama the lead again. But huge day for Kerryon Johnson, whether it be through the air or on the ground, even when he's been banged up. That touchdown gave Auburn the lead back. And then the quarterback in his first year in the Plains becoming a hero here in his first game in an Iron Bowl. 16-yard touchdown run by Stidham. That's where we stand with a 2-point conversion attempt coming up.
Yeah, and as soon as Gus Malzahn saw the center judge go into it, he ran down the sideline into the huddle and called timeout. And then from the timeout through the whole commercial, he was yelling at referee Matt Loeffler that time saying, I don't know what your guys were doing, but he was not happy with the way Alabama was allowed to substitute and take them out of their 2-point play real quickly.
Kerryon Johnson and Davis go out to the right. Stidham in the shotgun from the 3 on the 2-point conversion.
Look at this.
And now they're going to put a tackle over there. Austin Golston, the tight end, moving, everybody on the move. Stidham lofts it away, incomplete. Well, that was a lot of fireworks for nothing.
They tried to do a gimmick play back to Tucker Brown. Alabama had it stopped.
Stays a 12-point game. 12:49 It remains a 12-point game after a failed 2-point conversion attempt by Auburn.
Well, if you're down 12 points, you know you got to hand the ball to your quarterback and say, bail us out here. I know it's not like you can go 3 yards in a cloud of dust now.
And the Auburn defense has done a good job on Jalen Hurts today, but he's going to have to be the man.
There's a great tradition. Greg McElroy, A.J. McCarron, Blake Sims, Big Coker. They have all made big plays in fourth quarters of wins for Alabama in the pass.
Jalen told us the last time we talked to him, you're only as strong as your trigger man. Well, he's going to have both hammers back now. And this one won't be returned to bring it out to the 25. So can Mr. Clutch do it? That's Gary's term for him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, all of those guys were good, but Jalen Hurts does not have to take a backseat to any of them. He has been Mr. Clutch, LSU, in the national championship game. Remember, he never got back on the field. He had the lead when he left. And against Mississippi State, with all the bells ringing, He hit that one right there, and I don't know if there's a more clutch player in all of college football, and believe me, he's got ice water in his veins.
You have to be in this environment. Here he comes on a quarterback draw, but Auburn equal to the task again. Deshaun Davis, the middle linebacker.
Well, Deshaun Davis is the leading tackler, and you know he's zeroed in on the quarterback. Mr. Clutch, I got you.
He got a yard. 2nd and 9. Quick throw. Ridley short of the first down.
Well, here we go, 3rd down.
They're 0 for.
They're an 0 for.
They need a long 2 here.
I don't know if I can remember the last time I've done an Alabama game when they were 0 for 6 in the 4th quarter, or a game where they've had a team score 4 consecutive possessions in an SEC game like this.
Damian Harris in the backfield with Hurts. They fake the pass to him. Hurts keeps it. Gets to the 2nd level and a 1st down, Alabama.
Well, I think right now, if you're Kevin Steele for Auburn, after this 1st down by Alabama, you have to know defensively that Alabama will probably be in 4-down territory unless it's very long yardage.
Damian Harris, maybe 2.
Just think about what Auburn is doing to this Alabama football team. That's only the 43rd play for Alabama in this game.
Last year was Auburn that couldn't have the ball.
Absolutely, it was flipped.
Hurts, deep middle, just over the outstretched arms of Hentges.
I thought Hentges stumbled. I don't know if he stumbled over the feet of Darrell Williams, but I thought he stumbled coming out of his break. Let's take a look at it. He's right there. Oh, a little bit of a grab. That's what it was. Darrell Williams got away with one there. If I'm an Alabama fan, I am not happy about that.
They picked up their last 3rd down after being 0 for 6. Let's see what they can do with 3rd and 8. Hurts flushed out of the pocket. He'll keep it. He'll get it and get whatever more he can before he goes out of bounds.
I'm just going to say it. I don't think it was off the record. You could stop me at any time. When we talked to Kirby Smart following the Auburn game, he felt that Auburn got away with a lot of holds in the secondary against his receivers. He sent in 6 plays to the SEC. He was not happy about what he had happen in that game.
Here's Damian Harris, brought down by Trey Williams. 10:29 on the clock running.
Well, Mr. Clutch just produced, with the help of his line, 2 big 1st downs. The second one was all him.
Now they got a 2nd and more manageable 4. Scarborough back in the tied backfield. And now he's going to come out of that backfield. They're going to fake the pass to him. Might have to come back to him if he can find him. Yeah, he's going to throw it away. Williams was given chase again on Hurts. And as you said, Gary, this is 4-down territory right now, you would think.
I would think, you know, looking back in the secondary, it's a zone look for this Auburn. Well, no, it's kind of a 2-man underneath and 2 safeties deep on that play. Nobody really open on it.
2 for 2 on 3rd downs this drive. They need another one here. They've got to get to the 29. The ball is loose. They cover it up, but it's back at the 38-yard line.
Well, what was all that? That was very odd. First, the running back goes up and taps the center Pryor, and I don't think Jalen Hurts was ready for the snap. I mean, everything seemed to be a bit confused on that play.
They weren't trying to snap it to Scarborough, were they?
I don't think so. I know Jalen Hurts was not expecting it.
Whatever the case, it's 4th down.
Well, you can't hide here. And what do you do if you're Auburn? Oh, he did it again.
And now Hurts has to cover it again. He couldn't even pick it up and try to do something with it. Auburn takes over on downs back at the 40.
I think Bradley Bozeman, or the guard who's making the call, again sees Josh Jacobs clapping his, no, it's Bo Scarborough. Watch Bo Scarborough clap his hands, and the center thinks it's the snap call.
Exactly.
Back-to-back plays, a self-destruction by Alabama.
The Home Depot SEC on CBS is sponsored by Chick-fil-A, Allstate, Jared, the Galleria of Jewelry, and by Bud Light. 26 lost yards, those last two botched plays, Gary.
Yeah, but it was botched so bad that Alabama may catch a break. I think Auburn had too many men on the field. Watch when the ball is snapped. It's snapped soon, obviously. Everybody's in motion. But at the snap, look at, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 11. And then obviously the last guy right here is the 12th man on the field. I think Alabama's going to catch a break and get one more opportunity. Both teams, 12 men on the field and people in motion for Alabama. I think they're going to do the play over again.
It is under review.
Now remember, the Alabama in motion is not reviewable. Okay, so this just may be a penalty on Auburn. So it's 12 men. How about this? Alabama could catch the break of all time here, okay? Only one of the penalties is reviewable. Right?
And it was 4th and about 8.5, right?
Yep. And it's going to be 12 men on the field, illegal substitution.
A crucial call coming up right now, obviously, in this game at this juncture. Auburn would have been taken over at about the 40-yard line after the two bad snaps with a 12-point lead and 9:19 to go. Now, if that turns around, goes the other way, Alabama's drive stays somehow alive in one of the wackier plays we've seen in the 81 other matchups of these games.
How do you measure this if you're the committee? You know, if Alabama loses this game, how do you factor this in? I mean, this could be a break of all time if Alabama comes back and wins this game. That was a 4th down play.
Yep. Again, back-to-back plays that cost him 26 yards.
Right, 3rd down. Bo Scarborough both times comes up. He taps the center. Bradley looks up. Bozeman looks up. Left guard says snap it.
Jalen's got his hands on his hips.
And now on 4th down, it's worse. Okay.
Yeah, this is Scarborough clapping his hands.
And Bozeman hears the clap and snaps the ball. But I think Alabama's going to get bailed out here.
This one's taken a while, but it is worth the wait. Just when you think you've seen everything in the Iron Bowl, you get one of these dudes.
Yeah. Well, we said that both teams control their own destiny, but this call is way beyond destiny.
And of course, 87,451 are all waiting on it, as we are.
We want to count it one more time. I'm sure I did it right. I'm sure I counted these 12.
Right.
Let's go back. When we freeze it, we'll count. I'll start from the back side this time, okay, and try to do it a little bit cleaner. All right, there it is. Here's 1, 2.
After review, there were 12 men on the defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. It'll be 4th down and 3 at the 33-yard line.
Remember, the motion penalty is not reviewable. Just the 12 men on the field.
Gus is asking for the motion and the false start.
It's a bad break. That's all you can say. It's a bad break. You have to overcome it. Let's count them one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Well, it's still 4th down, though, remember.
Yeah, but it's 4th and 4.
Yeah, well, that's better than having the ball.
That's right. Carlson would have been in field goal range. Think of that.
4th down. Can they get a snap clean here to Hurts, and can he pick up 3 yards? Or Damian Harris, maybe. Hurts will try to do it with his arm. Lobs one's got it complete. Not going to get there, though. Robert Foster. Foster's brought down a yard shy.
Well, that's a tough throw if you're a quarterback making a 2-yard throw in this situation. With all of these athletes on the field for Auburn, you throw a ball underneath like this. Auburn is playing zone. They're letting everything happen in front of him, and Foster, if he would have turned up 1 second earlier, might have had a chance, but Carlton Davis makes the tackle, and it's a sure tackle.
Doesn't Foster have to get a little bit deeper on the route, though, too?
You would think. I mean, you're right. I mean, I guess if you're Jalen Hurts, you're thinking, come on, receiver, at least get to the 1st down marker. Good point, Brad.
Back to Kerryon Johnson.
Now remember, the receiver doesn't have that yellow line that we do.
Right.
But he thinks, I think Foster thinks, I got it. I'm across the line. I'm going to turn up, but a clean tackle by Carlton Davis. Oh, Foster's saying, right now he's hearing, you got to go deeper, son. You could have told him that.
Now it's up to the Alabama defense. And time is becoming a factor. Under 8.5. Alabama, top-ranked team in the country, without a blemish on their record, and down 12 points. Kerryon Johnson, nice hit by Minkah Fitzpatrick to bring him down. He might have gotten a yard.
Well, it's a 12-point game. It's going to be less than halfway through this 4th quarter when Alabama gets the ball back.
If they get the ball back.
Good point.
Here's the biggest 3rd down of the day for the Alabama defense.
Yeah, and remember, Auburn is 9 for 15 against this Alabama defense that lives, reputation-wise, on controlling 3rd down.
Kerryon Johnson in the Wildcat.
Nobody deep. Alabama's got everybody within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage.
He's going to give it off to Stove, and he's tripped up. Nice play by Minkah Fitzpatrick, and it's 4th down.
Alabama sells out. They basically run a goal line defense on this play, daring Auburn to throw it out of the Wildcat. They did not, obviously. That's it. All 11 players up within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage.
And it paid off there. Forces the punt. Aiden Marshall set. That's Trayvon Diggs. He'd love to get his hands on it without having to call a fair catch. Marshall's been pretty good kicking the ball today. He's buried Alabama a couple of times. Flags down at the snap.
That could be on Alabama. And an automatic 1st down.
That's what the crowd thinks.
I'll tell you what, this was a play. I think this was a play by Auburn. Obviously, it was Damian Harris.
Offside. On defense. Number 34. No contact. 5-yard penalty. Results in a 1st down.
Well, number 34, I guess he's right here. Is that him? One of those 2 guys. Oh, the center does a little bit of a kind of a butt bob on the play, dips his butt, and Damian Harris goes for it.
And here comes some more Kerryon Johnson.
Oh, he got hurt. And did he drop the ball?
I don't know, but Evans is going the other way with it. Kerryon just pulled up on his own there.
But you can't let go of the ball. I think he was down. I think his knee was down on the play. You can see he pulled. I think it's going to be, but think about this. Auburn with the lead. Auburn plays Georgia next week if they win. Could they be losing Kerryon Johnson?
Wow. And now you could hear a pin drop in here. Everybody worried, I think on both sides, whether you're an Alabama or an Auburn fan, about Kerryon Johnson. We'll check on it when we come back. Kerryon Johnson walking off with some help. And during the timeout, everybody that wasn't an Alabama fan at Jordan-Hare Stadium was chanting, "Carry on, carry on, carry on." And we don't quite know what it was, but he pulled up on this last run, his 31st carry of the ballgame.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, he has a jump stop right there. We've seen him do that so many times. Does he feel a twinge at the time? Is it his right shoulder when he attempts to give the straight arm here, pops out? Is that what happens? Watch the straight arm, right? Oh, no, it was actually earlier than that. Really nothing to tell for sure, but obviously he felt it, and it looks like it could be his right shoulder. He hurt his left shoulder earlier, and now it's his right shoulder.
Cam Martin comes in to take his spot in the backfield on 2nd down and 13.
Yeah, Nick Saban has to start thinking, when do I start using my timeouts?
He has 3. Alabama thinking about a blitz. And they're going to come with it. And Martin squirts through his first carry, and he takes it out to the 49.
So I asked Cam Martin, excuse me, I asked Gus Malzahn about Cam Martin, and he said, we trust him. Well, they're going to have to now as Nick Saban takes a timeout.
And Martin's going down. So 1 carry, and the backup tailback hits the deck.
Well, they don't have Petway, so that means their top 3 backs are gone.
Malik Miller would be next up, I guess.
Welcome back. We saw Kerryon Johnson come off the field. He's now headed to the locker room after not spending much time in the tent. Guys, he wasn't able to move the right arm at all. I have not gotten an official word from the team on his injury, but he certainly was not able to move that arm. Gary, I know you said you thought it was his shoulder. I'll let you know as soon as I know more. Cam Martin is also dealing with an injury. It's his right ankle. They're retaping it right now. I'll also let you know when I have more on that.
Yeah, you could see this right at the play. Watch the ankle get rolled on at the end of the play, the tackle.
Dylan Moses was making the tackle.
Yes. Now, what does Gus do here on 3rd and 5? You've lost your 3 top running backs. He's told us all week he's going to go wide open. His quarterback's 21 for 28, but he'd love to force another timeout. I got to trust my quarterback. I really do. He's 5 for 8 in the second half. Another first down could be the ball game. He said wide open. We'll see.
It's the quarterback, and he runs right into the middle of the pile, but he busts out, and then he's tripped up.
That seemed like no chance.
Ronnie Harrison made the shoestring tackle.
You could have almost bet that Jeremy Pruitt was coming with a blitz on the play. Inside, there's no way that Jarrett Stidham is going to pick up the first down there. I would have let him throw.
Got a timeout, so we assume we have a punt coming up from Auburn when we come back. Well, coming up next Saturday, Georgia takes on the winner here. SEC Championship on CBS, presented by Dr. Pepper. Coverage starts with college football. The drive to Atlanta, presented by Mercedes-Benz at 3, followed by the State Farm College football today. It's all next Saturday. We just don't know who's playing the Bulldogs yet because we still have 5:40 to go. High punt, fair catch, taken at the 15 by Trayvon Diggs. So Alabama's down to 1 timeout and 5.5 to go.
Well, we've always talked about controlling your own destiny. You don't want to let the committee make a decision because
goes a lot of different ways, doesn't it?
That's all the things I've heard this year, and what the committee, how they make up their mind.
That's sort of like driving in Atlanta, much less
that is a flow chart, and I've heard Jeff Long and Kirby Holcutt use every one of those words, to tell you the truth.
Alabama needs points in a hurry. Jalen Hurts steps up. He's going to take off. See how much he can get. Oh, he's dragged down by Roberts before he got to the first down marker.
So if you were on the committee, and let's assume Alabama loses this game, okay? They've been #1 all year.
Right.
What would you do with all these possibilities, okay? You know, the SEC champ, Ohio State beats Wisconsin. You should freeze frame that. Brad, do you know how to do that? Freeze frame that thing?
Sure.
And then fill out your own ballot.
Are you going to put check marks in those things,
you know
or
what?
not?
Vern got me in trouble by doing that to me in 2006.
We're a lot more alike than you think we are.
I would just like to step back and not do it.
5 minutes to go. Hurts throws short, complete to Herb Smith.
Well, listen, all of college football knows that if Alabama loses this game, they're not going to be in if the chalk holds. But I actually think all the other possibilities, they will still get in. That's my ballot.
Hurts throws again behind his receiver, incomplete. It was Smith in the same spot as the previous pattern, and it's third down.
So where has Calvin Ridley been in this football game? Remember, Kevin Steele told us that we're going to play the LeBron defense against these guys.
2-3.
2-3. Jalen Hurts and Calvin Ridley. We have to stop LeBron. 23.
They're doing a pretty good job of it. Hurts will have to take off again. Can he get to the first down marker? He got there, but barely. Got it to the 40. And they'll move the sticks. They're still 60 yards away from a touchdown, and they need more than one of them. Got to hurry now. And that's what Jalen Hurts is telling his guys. Would you get in position? Including Ridley, who's at the bottom of your screen. Hurts in trouble. Can't run out of it this time. Got a couple.
Well, that's really the third time that Jalen Hurts has been forced out of the pocket in just the last 4 plays. It does not appear that Auburn is overpowering the offensive line, but close enough to force Hurts out of the pocket.
Again, he waits all day before going deep in the middle, and he got Ridley, who put the brakes on and got to the 30.
I'll tell you, Auburn's defense is sucking air right now. They've got no pass rush. Wouldn't be shocked if Gus Malzahn takes a timeout and lets his pass rushers rest. They got no juice at all.
That might be the best pass of the day for Jalen Hurts, including the touchdown that he just threw a jump ball up in the first half. In trouble again. Gonna lob it to Jacobs if he can get a block. But he's going down to the line of scrimmage. Nick Coe made the stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, it was Jeff Holland coming around the corner. Right tackle that time. Puts the pressure on, has the sack, but Jalen Hurts is strong enough to get rid of it.
Second down at 10, approaching 3 minutes, and now false start it looked like on Matt Womack.
False start on the offense. Number 84, 77. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Womack, remember, he was just giving up a sack. Now he's got the same guy, and he was ready, but he was too ready.
Trying to get a head start on Holland and jumped early. 2nd and 15. There'll be 3 minutes left in the game during this play. Hurts trying to scan the field, running out of time again. Can't get rid of it, and down he goes. And it's Coe who got to him again.
Well, I'll tell you, Nick Coe was so tired, I don't think he really wanted to run after him. But then he got the opportunity because Marlon Davidson forced him to it, and Nick Saban is going to have to take a timeout here and let his team rest on offense.
That's their last one, though. And they've got to get it all the way down to the 20-yard line when we come back for a first down. Coming up after our game, stay tuned for the CBS Sports postgame show powered by Ram. Right now, Alabama's got to be powered by Jalen Hurts. They've got 3rd down, 22. Obviously, they don't have to get all 22 in this snap because it's 4 down time and they're out of timeouts.
Ridley's down at the bottom.
Hurts steps up in the pocket. Deep middle. Intended for Ridley, incomplete.
Jerry Jeudy, so much attention to Calvin Ridley. Jalen Hurts, but watch Jerry Jeudy right here get open for a touchdown. Right there, right up the seam, had him. He was all eyes on number 3, though.
Remember when we told you earlier that Alabama's #1 in the country on 4th down conversions?
They better be, huh?
They better be. Here's the game. Hurts steps up. Might have been over the line of scrimmage. Pass is incomplete anyway. Flags down. I think he crossed the line of scrimmage. It's not going to matter.
How about that? Going to decline it, Gus Malzahn is. And, you know, I really thought that this was an important drive for Alabama, even if they didn't win the game, to put points on the board. Because, remember, we showed you that committee might have their own ideas here.
Right.
They could do anything.
There you see his right foot. Body.
Illegal forward pass on the offense. Quarterback went beyond the line of scrimmage to clear the ball. That's a loss of down 5 yards. The ball turns over. First down Auburn.
So, you know, something is going to have to give if Alabama gets in this thing, right? I mean, here's what the committee has never done in the playoffs. Selected a 2-loss team, selected 2 teams from the same conference, or left out the SEC and the Big Ten.
Well, right now, if Auburn goes to Atlanta to play Georgia, they've got 2 losses. Alabama would have 1, but not being in the conference title game.
Well, then you got Ohio State if they beat Wisconsin, TCU if they beat Oklahoma.
I'm glad I'm not on the committee. Nice hit by Jennings. But the clock now will wind under 2 minutes. Alabama can't stop it. The biggest game number 8 says he's ever been in. A Heisman Trophy winner from the past. Looking on in anticipation. And a guy that's only lost 1 game, and it was in the championship to Clemson a year ago, can only look on now and think of what's next. But next is not going to be a win at Jordan-Hare.
Well, remember that first drive by Alabama. They run the running backs, 4 runs, 67 yards. Bo Scarborough goes in, and since then, it's been all Auburn.
Remember what we said about 3.5 hours ago? It has the feel of 4 years ago. As Auburn came back from a loss to LSU, their quarterback got hot. That guy's been hot. Number 21 was carrying the ball. It was Trey Mason 4 years ago. It's Kerryon Johnson today. They didn't need a miracle kickoff field goal return because today they've just been so solid for so long that they're about to pull the stunner and win over a #1 team twice in 2 weeks. Who does that?
Amazing. And as we mentioned in the open, you said they were left for dead. Gus Malzahn's job was the talk of talk radio, that he should be let go. What had he done? Resurrect, gone from number 19. They should be no worse than number 4. They and Georgia will get a rematch. The winner goes.
All the Bulldogs said, Kirby Smart said as well, do you want another shot at Auburn after making all the mistakes you made and all that? Every one of them said, we want another shot at Auburn.
And remember, Gus Malzahn was caught saying, we beat the dog out of them.
There was another word behind it.
I know it.
Has something to do with what your dog does when you let him out in the morning. And I'll say what I said 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty sure you can't find a roll of toilet paper in this city without going out about 15 miles out of town, because Toomer's Corner is going to be berserk a little bit later on tonight.
You know, the irony of this, in 2013, we had those two iconic plays. The deep pass by Nick Marshall and then the kick six. And now in 2017, we have two iconic wins against #1 teams. What a stage it's been here in Jordan-Hare.
So next week, we know what we've got at Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's going to be a beauty, and it's going to be a rematch. 7th-ranked Georgia, #6 Auburn. Those numbers will change on Tuesday night, but the fact that the SEC championship is in Mercedes-Benz Stadium will not change.
But just think about this. If you're an Alabama fan or player, or if you're Nick Saban, how do you address this, okay? You've been #1 all year. You've lost one game to a pretty good football team.
On the road.
Committee, now remember, the committee a year ago, they're in a tough spot because a year ago they overlooked Penn State, and look who's sitting there. It's Ohio State again. Will they give Ohio State the break and let them go as Big Ten champions with 2 losses after not letting Penn State go? This is going to get it. I might even watch this. I haven't watched any of the other ones, got to be honest. But I might even watch this one.
But, of course, that would take Ohio State beating Wisconsin.
Yep. Oh, I think if the chalk holds. I mean, listen, if Wisconsin and Oklahoma wins, they're going to be in.
Let's take a look at the GMC game changers. Not just one, we got 2 for you. And why not? Kerryon Johnson did a little bit of everything today, from the Wildcat with a jump pass to taking a handoff from a yard out when his shoulder was hurt already. And then Jarrett Stidham. How good has he been in his first Iron Bowl ever? Both with his legs, some tough runs, including that 16-yarder for a touchdown. And he whipped it around the yard today, too, with that right arm, and the party is 14 seconds away.
It's always been my belief. You don't have to be a superstar at quarterback to have a chance to win, but you got to be efficient. And I thought Stidham was efficient. 21 for 28. You got to be close to that to handle this Alabama defense.
Alabama going to try to block the punt. They don't get there. There's nobody back. Doesn't matter where it goes out of bounds at this point. There's 1 or 2 plays left.
How about Stidham? A year ago at this time, he was throwing passes for a high school.
Yeah. In between stops after leaving Baylor. Transferring here, became the starter in spring ball. Figured out what Auburn football is all about, what the SEC is all about. And now getting ready for the biggest win of his football life. And Gus Malzahn, a fist to the crowd and a little bit of a shower.
And let's remember all the rumors going around about Gus Malzahn. Will he go home to Arkansas? What do you do now?
Going to be the last play, barring a penalty. The throw completed. Might end up being a touchdown. Not going to get there. Cam Sims, as the clocks hit 0. And a double shower for Gus Malzahn. And they're coming out of the stands at Jordan-Hare. His second win against Alabama in his stay here on the Plains, and it's a huge one. Winner take all to win the West and have a date with the Dogs. They've got it. The winning coach is with Allie.
Coach, for the second time in 3 weeks, you've taken out the #1 team in the country on your home field. How can you describe the level of excitement and pride right now?
It's unbelievable. I'm so proud of our team. It's so hard to do. 2 out of 3 weeks, play the #1 team and get up again. Our guys did it. We beat them handily.
What has clicked for this Auburn team in the second half?
Well, we're just playing good football. Very few teams this time of year playing their best football. We're one of them.
You were worried about third downs. 2 for 10 isn't so bad. Were you impressed with the defense today?
Yeah, we were 0 for last year and just turned around on third down and couldn't be happier. It's a big moment for us. We're on our way.
You told Jarrett Stidham before the game, just be you. How impressive was your quarterback today?
He made plays with his feet, didn't he? And made some great throws. So proud of our team. So proud of our defense. That quarterback is unbelievable running the football.
Congratulations, Coach. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Allie, I hope you can get one of those escorts out of there because you're in a pile down there in the middle of the field. And with that, let's go back with the winning quarterback. Al?
Jarrett, not only was this your first Iron Bowl, but you said it's the biggest game of your life. Was it everything you thought it would be?
Absolutely. This is, I don't think it can get much better than this in college football. This is truly unbelievable. We have the best fans in the country. And we pulled out the win.
On your home field, first Georgia, now Alabama. Is there something to say about the fact that this team just has ice in its veins?
I think so. This season didn't really start off the way we wanted it to, but we've hit our stride at the right time, and everything's in front of us.
Take a second and think. A year ago, you were throwing passes at a high school practice. When you think of that, what emotions come to you?
Man, it's been a long ride. I remember watching this game in Houston, Texas on a couch last year, not playing at all, and to now win the Iron Bowl, knock off 2 #1 teams in 3 weeks, it's surreal. And I got to thank God. I mean, this is truly unbelievable.
Congratulations, Jarrett. Enjoy it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks.
So Auburn upsets the #1 team in the country the second time this month. 26-14 the final. They go to 10-2 and they go to Atlanta to play Georgia. We'll wrap it up when we come back.